Hello, guys. Thanks for joining me on a Tuesday. I know we're supposed to be having live sales on Tuesday, but that's not what's happening tonight. Tonight, we're just going to craft, hang out. I don't know how long we'll be here, but we're just going to have fun, relax, crafty time. So if you're here for a sale, perhaps next week, I'm not sure yet. Have to wait and see how everything goes over the weekend and how tired I am. But perhaps next Tuesday we will do a sale. Italian paper is here, so we could do that, or we could do, there's a whole bunch of new French stuff here. There's stuff I've been trying to bring to you guys for weeks now. So there's all different kinds of things that we could do when we do get back to selling, but soon enough. So how are you guys? How has your weekend been? I know it's Tuesday, but it's the first time I see you guys after the weekend. Things are, what are we? 4 days. 4 days till wedding day now. So things are going good. Everything looks like it's going to be good. My daughter was a little stressed about the weather, but she called me early in the morning and she's like, it's going to rain. What are we going to do? So we're hoping that it doesn't, but we're still, from one moment to the next, it changes and it says it's going to rain and it's not going to rain. It is supposed to rain for the next 3 days. Then there looked like there would be one day where there wasn't rain, and then it was going to rain on her wedding day. So we'll see how it goes. It'll be a toss-up. Hopefully it won't rain, but if it does, we're going to be okay. So guys, how are you? Dyed ribbon. I do have a lot of dyed seam binding. That will be, I don't know, a little ways in the future. That takes a lot more time on the back end to prep before it gets sold and shipped to you guys. It has to be crinkled, it has to be cut, crinkled, packaged, all that kind of stuff. And that takes a lot of time. So that in the far future, like not months, hopefully, but definitely not one of the next couple of sales. Takes too much time on the back end, so I need a lot of time to get that prepped for you guys. Plus, I'm sure when we do bring it, as you know from last time, Wendy, there was like 87 colors. So 87 colors times, 20, 25 individual little packages per color is a lot of wrapping seam binding and winding up seam binding and crinkling seam binding and all that kind of stuff. I love that you love it. I love it too. And just if you, I don't know, give me some time and I'll try working on that. I want to do, yeah, Amy, they do say raining on your wedding day is a good luck thing, which is weird because for the longest time, I thought that raining on your wedding day was like a bad sign. And I know people believe both. So I wonder when it switched from being raining on your wedding day as a bad omen to a good omen. Was it because all the wedding industry got together and said, hey, look, it rains an awful lot. Weddings get canceled and we all lose a bunch of money. So we're just going to make it be a good omen. And then everyone will still get married when it's raining. I know it's hard to like think of things like that, but the wedding industry is such an expensive industry that you have to question their motives. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Jody, there probably is. It's not something that I have ever looked for. So not something that I have here. There's some small directory pages in the backs of certain books, but nothing like a regular phone book. I'm sure that they have regular phone books, but it's not something I've ever looked for. Not something on our list or anything like that that we look for. I'm not saying I won't find it or I won't look for it, but I'm just saying up until now I have not. So, guys, how are you? Hello, hello. And so tonight we're just going to hang out. It's just going to be relaxing crafting. I don't know what we're making. There's literally no plan. It's not like some class where I'm talking about a specific topic. It's just general crafting for junk journals. Like I said in the beginning, if you are just hopping on, no live sale tonight. We might do a live sale next Tuesday, but I'm not sure yet. I'm leaning towards doing it just because it's been several weeks and the stuff is literally piled up. I can't even open the boxes because there's too many boxes, and I can't make that huge mess in my house right now with everything else going on. So the boxes of all the new things are piled up in the entryway of the house. So, it's not necessarily the best looking. German scrap is not here yet. It's on its way. So it just takes a much longer time. It's not shipped the fast method. All of my stuff from France is shipped the fast method. From Germany, it's shipped slow. So like 6 weeks was the estimate. Everything is taking a little longer because without trying to get political, there's lots of talks of taxes and things like that and whatever. So some places are just unsure what and when and how to do it, and what things will look like on my side, because if I have to bring things in and I have to pay an extra 25%, because it's going to get passed to me. So it's a whole lot of things. That's too much politicalness. Everything is good. We'll all get our stuff. Everything will be great. However, sometimes things do take longer for various reasons. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. And she appreciates all of your, yeah, don't say that. All of your well wishes. She does appreciate that very much. I have been telling her every day that you guys are always kind and wishing her, good luck and that her day goes smooth and all those kinds of things. Good luck is a weird way to put it, but yes, I mean, it sounds weird when I say it, but it'll all go smooth. It'll all be fine. All right, guys. So, any questions before we begin? There are still people who need invoiced. There are still people waiting on packages to be shipped. There are still people waiting on kits to be built. There are still people waiting on everything. And all I can tell you is, other than right now where we're doing this, I haven't done anything else other than the things I had to do, for the wedding and all that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping I will have tomorrow. It looks like tomorrow is my last day before like official stuff, where I can get some of that done tomorrow. It may not be invoicing, but we'll see what needs to happen there. Thank you, Susan. Thank you all. I appreciate that. Thank you, Nicole. Awesome. Thank you, Karen. All of you guys. Thank you. Honestly, you guys are so supportive. You guys, you've never even seen my daughter, but you're very supportive and very kind. And so thank you guys so much for that. She's very excited. She's just a little nervous about like the rain, and just maybe a little anxiety over having everyone there and staring at her. And like, I think it's just a little nerve-wracking. I'm sure I was nervous too. I don't remember exactly because it was very long ago that I got married, but I'm sure I was nervous. I'm sure all brides and grooms are nervous on their day. So they were talking about possibly doing a first look so that they can see each other, because they will not be together the night before, and they will not see each other pretty much the whole day before, and then they'll see each other for the first time at the ceremony. And so they were talking about possibly doing a first look where they get to see each other right before the wedding ceremony and spend a few moments, alone before the wedding ceremony, if they wanted to do like private vows or something at that point. So I'm not sure if they will or won't, but there was some talk about that. Things are still a little fluid with what everyone wants and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of been what's eating up most of my time. Is it's an outdoor ceremony, and we had planned on it being an outdoor ceremony. I had always had a backup plan, but the guest list has grown, and the number of people who said yes, they're attending has grown. So what I had planned still will accommodate, but I needed to rearrange and make sure we would have all of the, so every time the wedding grows, you have to go back and you have to go to each vendor and make sure that there is enough flowers for whatever increase there is. There's enough tables, there's enough cake, there's enough food, there's enough, champagne, there's enough everything. So every time things change, I have to adjust everything else, which is what I thought hiring a wedding planner was supposed to be like, that kind of stuff where they would handle all that, and it just hasn't worked out that way for us. I think for most people it probably works out a little smoother, but it is what it is. And so if I handle it, then at least I can feel assured that things will be okay on the day. And so then I can assure her that things are going to be okay on the day, that kind of stuff. A lot of excitement for her, and I'm excited for her, but I just want things to, I'm more of a logistic person where I just want things to just run smooth. And as long as it does, then I'm good and I'm happy for her. I'm always happy for her, but I'm just like, let me stress so she doesn't have to kind of person. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. If people are looking for, so there are people waiting on shipping, there are people waiting on invoices. Some people are waiting on tracking numbers because they were the last people to claim a kit. I went ahead and invoiced them, especially if you are brand new to me and the only thing you've ever purchased was a kit. I went ahead and invoiced very few of you, just a couple, because there's probably going to be some kits, there probably is kits out there that I need to remove from people who haven't paid their invoice and ship to you guys. And I really had planned on getting all of that done before all of this craziness began. I didn't know how crazy things would get. This is my first child's wedding, so I didn't know how crazy it would get. I thought we had it handled by hiring it out so someone else could take care of it. And, I think I drastically underestimated the amount of time it would take for all the other get-togethers, all the other things that have to happen. So I'm just being honest and telling you guys I underestimated how much time it was all going to take. I didn't plan on being away from live sales and that kind of stuff for so long, but rest assured, if you claimed something, it is here. If you've been invoiced for something, it is here. It will get shipped to you. If you're waiting on an invoice, you'll get invoiced. Everything will be okay. It's just delayed. And so if you guys allow me this time to sort out my daughter's wedding, then I can come back and sort out everything else for us here. It is just a couple of people, like a dozen people or so, who are kind of caught in that loop. And I do work on them as I have time. Like I invoiced one person last night and I took care of somebody else's something earlier in the day. And I am working through them. It just has to fit in when I'm home, because I can't do most of what I do through my phone. I can do some of it, but I can't do most of it through my phone. So if you just hang in there with me, we'll all get through it. All of us. I know a lot of you guys were asking what my dress looked like, and somebody was like, well, why don't you tell us what your dress looked like? Do you not want to tell us? And I'm like, I'm just not that kind of person that is like, when I was younger, I probably would have been very much into my dress and all of those things. And I'm just like, so first of all, as the mother of the bride, you cannot upstage the bride, right? So your dress needs to be kind of toned down and, I need to look like the mother of the bride, which for me is like, it's not hard, but it's like I would have much preferred a different looking dress, but I have a very mature looking dress so that my daughter can, be rightfully the star of the show, right? So my dress is navy blue. It is a long formal gown. It has kind of like a beaded lace bodice with 3/4 sleeves, and I don't know, it's kind of it's almost royal blue, but it is navy blue. So it's a lighter navy blue. And I don't know what else to tell you guys about it, but that's what it looks like. Let me see what's going on. So Jana, you were one of the last people who claimed, and you were invoiced, and your kit has either been shipped to you or it is one of the last ones waiting to be built. I possibly can take one from someone who didn't pay because I didn't go through those yet. And if you guys would just reach out to me through email, and then I can follow up on that. And I think you did email because I remember seeing that this morning, Jana. Although I might have your name with two N's also. I'll look, Jana. But don't stress about it. Everything is here. It's just running a little behind because I needed to do this for my daughter. But once all of that is taken care of, everything will be fine. And if Jana, if you'd prefer to cancel, that's okay too. Just let me know. Just reach out to me an email and let me know. But as far as the March kit goes, we will have more than plenty of time, because I was going to tell you guys next week when I come back and do live sales, but I'm just going to tell you guys now. There will not be a new kit for April. We are just going to roll right on through with this botanical kit all the way through April. I think that's the smartest thing to do, because tracking for kits is still probably 50% of you would have a kit by Friday. The other 50% wouldn't. I don't want you guys stressing about it. So let's just say that this journal that we're going to make, we will do through March and we will do through April, wrapping it up at the end of April. If we wrap it up early, great. We have other crafting projects that we can work on as a group, but I don't want you guys to feel like, oh, wow, there's another kit coming right behind this and we're not going to have time to finish it. So as things were kind of as things were changing here on the ground for this, I figured out that there is no way, I'm going to have another kit completely ready to ship by next week for you guys, and we're not going to have time to finish this one, and I don't want you guys to feel like we're rushing it. So everyone, for the Botanical Field Note Journal Kit, we are going to work on it all of March and all of April, and there will be another kit that comes out in the middle of April for May. But we are actually going to skip one kit just so everyone has breathing room, mostly me, but for everyone else too. So don't stress. Don't, and see, a lot of people do need more time anyway, but I just felt like that was the fair thing to do because nothing has gone smooth in the last few weeks. So rather than putting all of that stress on myself and you guys, let's just call this one good. For those of you on subscription, you will not be charged middle of March. You will, next charge will be middle of April. We're going to skip one whole kit. So instead of having 12 journals this year, which we might make up another project, there's one journal project that I wanted to do as the monthly kit, but it is not a $65 project, and I don't see it taking more than 2 live sessions. So we still might have 12 projects. One of them will be cheaper and not take as long, so we might work that in at some point, but don't stress, everything's good. You're cursed. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't know what that exactly means. Um, you know, navy blue at least is a color I can wear. So I was really worried that when I went shopping for dresses and was talking with my daughter the first time, I was really worried that she was going to choose a color that is just not a good match for my skin tone, because there are some colors that I absolutely cannot wear. I cannot wear any shade of yellow. I cannot wear any shade of beige. I cannot wear I don't know, a light gray I cannot wear. I don't want to wear, not that she would have chose it, but any white or ivory. I don't want to wear any of that. So at least she chose a nice navy blue, which is the color that I can wear. So I'm glad that you guys, I can't, orange is ishy, but iffy, ishy. Orange is iffy. It has to be more of a burnt orange color. So we're not gonna, we were scheduled to start this Friday, and I am going to start this Friday, but I'm not going to start with the cover. I'm just going to start with collaging masterboards for ephemera and making some basic ephemera. So on Friday, we will be making stuff for the kit, but I am going to wait until at least 75–80% of you have your kit. And when I was checking tracking numbers earlier today, it looked like only probably half of you would actually have your kit by Friday. So that's kind of what I was checking to make sure, if we skipped, we would be okay. And I don't think more than 50% are going to have it. So we'll just wait. But anyway, Friday, we are going to work on it. So I'm definitely planning. I know it's the night before the wedding. Definitely planning craft with me. We don't have rehearsal dinner that night, so we're all good. We are going to do ephemera basically on Friday. We can talk about some planning, some pulling of supplies. We can talk about starting some of the, how some projects like flip outs or, really decorative elements take a long time for a journal. I want to work on some of those so that time isn't wasted when we finally do start, like with the cover and all that kind of stuff. Got yours yesterday? See, some people do have it. Some people have got theirs and they said that there was way more in it than they thought there was going to be in it. They were super happy. I haven't gotten anybody who said they didn't like it, so that's always a good thing. But I just feel like it would be putting way too much pressure to have this be done in less than 3 weeks. So let's just roll on through with this one through April. Had to touch everything. That's funny. I'm like that with a lot of things. I'm a tactile person and a visual person. So if I like it and, it visually, I'm attracted to, whatever it is art wise, I have to touch, I have to arrange and play and like put this with this already. And then, that's kind of how all that inspiration works for me. So as soon as I get new stuff, I start playing with it too. And I've just noticed that the hydraulics of my, let me change my camera for a minute. The hydraulics on my camera arm, is it called hydraulics? I don't know what it's called, but it has decided that it is tired. So let me put that back where that goes. And then I can come back and talk to you guys as I knock things over. It was actually ink pads. So, guys, are we ready to get this party started? I knocked over a bunch of ink pads. Luckily, they stayed closed. This room has carpet in it. And this room, if an ink pad fell on the carpet, you would definitely be able to tell. All right, so I think we've got the camera thingy fixed. Yes, we do. Cool. Well, at least it's back up there. I was watching it and I'm like, wait, it's going down. It's going down and down. Okay, so I don't know why those arms do that all the time, but at least like they're movable arms, so maybe that's why. I don't know. But anyway, any other questions before we're good? Scanned in all your goodies? Okay. Scanned in your originals so you don't have to use them. Awesome. That's awesome. Hello, Mrs. E. The blue velvet, I don't know if that is available anymore. You'll have to look. I don't know if that fabric is available anymore. It's not available for me, but I'm saying I'm not sure if it's available out there either. Bye, Soldier Mom. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the crafting. I don't see any other questions coming in. Anybody else, last chance before we get started on this? If you need something, holler it out before we move the camera down and start. That's funny, Amy. The do not touch signs. Hello, Alice. Hello, hello. Let's party. Let's do it. Awesome. So there's not a plan tonight. I really just want to craft and be more relaxed with what we are doing and hang out and kind of spend some time catching up with you guys. When I don't get to see you guys, even though I have been here every night I was supposed to be here, it's just different. I don't know how to explain it. I need this crafting time just to kind of relax. My brain needs it. Even though I need to film videos for tomorrow, my brain still needs it. How did you guys like the last two videos? For those of you that watched them, how did you guys like them? We made a over the page tabbed bookmark this morning, and yesterday's project was something. Oh, the triple envelope ephemera folio. Yeah, you guys liked it? Cool. Awesome. I'm glad that you guys liked those videos. We had like a good solid week of, I don't know what they want to watch, kind of moments in my head. So I'm glad. I think for whatever reason, even though every thumbnail is different, when I showed the blue journal cover, I think people think it's always the same video because the blue journal cover was on the front of the, on the thumbnail. And so I don't know if I can put the blue journal cover on the thumbnail anymore because I don't think people see it as different and then don't click. I don't know. I can't figure YouTube out. Nobody really can. So that's part of the problem is there's not like a set step by step, here's what you do to make YouTube work for you. So until I figure that out, which I don't think nobody ever will figure it out. There's all kinds of people saying they have tips and tricks and this and that. And trust me, it's usually just them talking, literally giving out no information for the 30 minutes they make you watch all their ads. So I think it's just more clickbaity videos when you search those things. It's just trial and error, I think, is the best advice I can ever give you guys. Yay! I liked the envelope thing. I want to play with envelopes a lot. Like, I have 3 more projects on my little to-do list over here that all involve envelopes. And I'm like, they don't like it when you do one envelope project one day and you do another envelope project the next day. It gets less clicks, even though it is an entirely different project. But if you use the word envelope twice, people, oh, I saw envelopes yesterday. And it's just like we're all in such a hurry. We're all so rushed and so busy. I get why it happens, but that makes me be very careful as far as like, okay, this project was this. You have to do something completely different the next day, which was like the blue journal cover thing. If I had 2 videos with the blue journal cover thing on the thumbnail, they were like, nope, we saw that yesterday. Even though it's a different video. Anyway, it's just how it is. The journal topper I really want to do. I might film that tonight. If I don't wear myself out with art crafting here, I might film that tonight because I want to do it so I have my journals done. And for those of you who claimed a journal last Tuesday, they're still here. I won't be invoicing for them at least until next week. So 2 of you claimed the journals from last Tuesday. I won't be invoicing you till next week for those. Yeah. Yay! I'm glad that you made it. I love the fact that you guys make the things because once you make it, you have that piece of ephemera tucked in your mind. At least this is the way it is for me. Once I make a new piece of ephemera that I see in a video or somebody shows me how to make whatever, it's always in there. And so then it's it's just it's just in your mind and you can pull it out and use it anytime. But if you don't make it, physically sit down and make it, yeah, you might have seen it, but you're gonna forget. Making it for me is like, okay, well now it's in there. It'll always be in there. That kind of thing. Oh, the toppers. Yep. Totally need to do that. Awesome. Okay, guys, I don't see any questions or anything, so we're going to get doing it. Saved videos. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Let me switch the camera back down and made 3. Awesome. That's great. I also made 3. I actually made 4, but I only finished 3. So there's that. Let me put my phone away. I filled up my glue, which is why it's in my hand. Had I not filled it up, you guys would have been very unhappy with me because it was just about empty. All right, so talking about the bookmarks, these were the bookmarks, and this is them decorated. So I only decorated one side of them. These are the 3 I decorated. Oh my gosh, camera. Why are we autofocusing when I know you are turned off? It does this to me every time. Literally, and now it's going to snap. These cameras, I am telling you, they are just not my favorite. Sorry. It's working on itself here in just a second. It's going to make me reset it. So, isn't it fun when your cameras just do that snapping motion? I just love it so very much. Not. It snaps back and forth and just makes this horrendous noise here, and it drives you guys crazy. So these are the bookmarks. So they go over the top of a page. Now I used 49 and market paper when I folded my tabs, and you can see it cracked horribly. I was really, really unhappy about that, but I was trying to just go with it in the video. Probably you guys could tell. This is the side I decorated. I decorated the back a little bit on one of them just because there was too much open space. There's just some of that 1600s handwritten book page back here, a little Tim Holtz flower, a little Tim Holtz label. So this one, it has some space where, yeah, you could do more. I kind of thought maybe I was going to add pockets back here. This is the one where there was just too much open white space right here, so I just added a little. But that's that, and that's that one. So I didn't want to add a pocket and cover up the backs of that one, but this one either. But this one, you could add some pockets, and this one you could add some pockets. This is the one I didn't finish because I really only need 3. So I left that one because I'm making 3 journals, so I only need 3 of anything. But I left this one because I thought, well, maybe I'll just cut it in half and make it be a tag for like other journals, or I could make it later for a different journal, but I don't know. That's what we did today in the video. No selling tonight, just hanging out tonight and crafting. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to grab my chair and we're just going to sit down and we're just going to play with paper. We're going to play with paper. I have these. So for those of you that have your kit, all of you got one of my eco-dyed botanical pages in there. I am going to list the eco-dyed botanical page kit as well as some other kits. They will be in Etsy in the morning. So I will list them sometime tonight. I don't know, it might be 2 o'clock in the morning when I list them in Etsy, but I will list the kit of just the pages. It's still auto-focusing and I don't know why, but I will list the pages. So if you want more of my eco-dyed pages, they print out borderless as long as you have a borderless printer because they're scanned in and the digitals are borderless. But I'm going to list that kit. And so I don't know how many pages it is. I guess Etsy's going to let me do 5. So I will list 5 of the different botanical pages. So that will be one kit. And then there are French tags as a whole kit and European, whatever, French bus tickets. There's a ticket kit, a tag kit, and this botanical paper, which is actual scans of my eco-dyed. That's what's going into Etsy. It'll be there in the morning because more than likely, if I don't do the topper video, I will do a video playing with those tags and those tickets tomorrow. So if you want eco-dyed paper and you don't want to eco-dye because it is very hard to get really nice prints, you can get the digital out of Etsy. You'll have it forever and you can print them over and over again. And the good thing about that is when we do the journals, if you want additional eco-dyed pages in your journal signature, that will be there for you guys as well. So I'm going to turn the brightness down because it's a little too bright. But the other pages in the kit, they're really pretty. They have a lot of different colors in them and a lot of very nice big leaf prints. So this one is just one I already had printed, and it's kind of like you can see some squished flower petals here, and you can see some leaf prints. But in the ones I'm scanning and putting in, they're really decorative with really nice leaf prints. But I thought maybe we could make some ephemera with these, maybe like a pocket or something like that, or maybe I'll use that as like the background layer. So we'll see what we do with those, but I have those, so let's play. Thank you guys. Thank you. The eco dye, it's fun to do because you don't really know what you're going to end up with when you do it. For those of you that don't know how the eco dye process works, you basically so you can go through your garden and you can pick out a bunch of leaves and a bunch of flowers, and then stack them in layers in between paper. You need to use a thicker paper. You cannot make eco dye. I'm not going to say you cannot, but you're not going to be happy with yourself if you use thin paper, because the paper tears as you stack it. If you think about the back of a flower head, it's usually pretty thick. And so as you stack and weigh everything down and squish it, you tear your paper, especially because the paper's wet, being boiled, right? So use a thicker paper, but not everything prints. So not everything will leave a leaf print. Some things, they look so bright and so colorful in your garden, and you put them in and you try to eco dye with them and it just doesn't do anything. It won't leave any print at all. But other things will turn a very nice dark color. So you just kind of have to experiment. If you watch, YouTube channels and videos on eco dyeing, some people will tell you what will eco dye nicely and some people won't because they don't want to share that information or for whatever reason. But all I will tell you is, while the weather is nice, give it a try if it's something you're interested in. And then, so basically you pick the flowers, leaves, whatever you're putting in there, you layer them in between your paper. Your paper needs to be thick and it needs to be soaked in alum water before you use the paper. So you have to prep the paper. You stack it all together. You tie it closed. I like to use wood or slate tiles and stack one slate tile at the bottom, stack all my layers up, put a slate tile on the top, tie it up, put it in a big roasting pan and boil it. In the roasting pan, you also need to put rusty metal bits, and that's what all this grungy color comes from around the outside edges of your page. If you don't put the rusty bits in, you can still get your leaf prints and stuff, but you don't get that nice dark color that runs through your pages. From there are other recipes for adding in additional color to the bath water that goes around, but it's fun. It's just very time consuming. It's a process that I recommend you do if you have an outdoor kitchen or if your barbecue has the burner on it so that you can boil things outside. Now, sometimes those are not powerful enough to boil a big, huge vat of eco-dyed paper, but it does smell, and the paper is soaked in alum, which alum is sold in, if you're looking for alum, it's a powder. It's sold in the spice section of grocery stores because it is what is used for pickling, or one of the things that you can use for pickling. But even though you can use it for food that way, it is hazardous and you do need to use precautions when handling it. So there's a whole process. It's very time consuming and very, very, the results vary way too much for it to be consistent unless that's all you do and you perfect your formula and you perfect what leaves you pick and whatever. But sometimes they come out nice and sometimes you do everything right and they just don't come out. So, there's that. Right, Rhonda? I know. It is, yeah, and so you can definitely dye paper without the leaf prints and stuff, but to get the leaf prints, yeah, you got to do the eco dye for the leaf prints. That all being said, I think it's lovely paper, but doing it once or twice or whatever and getting some nice pieces of paper to scan in was good enough for me. Maybe if I have more time eventually, I'll, do some more and maybe bring them to a live sale or something. But it's so time consuming and very few come out, like you're like, oh, wow, beautiful. Anyway, that all being said, if you guys want to try it, I encourage you to try it because it is fun and you will get some beautiful prints eventually, but it may take a while to iron out all the formula. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with this. So let's do, I don't know what we're going to do with this. I kind of just want to fold it. So the thing with these papers is there's not print like everywhere that you're going to make out like, oh, this is a leaf. Like we can clearly see this is a leaf. We can clearly see this is a leaf. Here's a leaf. But when we fold it, are you going to be able to make out what everything is? Maybe I'll just use it for backgrounds. Maybe. Let's play. Where is some cardstock? Do I have some cardstock in here? I just want some regular, like, copy dyed cardstock. I have copy dyed paper. Ooh, this. I wanted to make some ephemera out of this. Did you? Oh my gosh. Did you guys hear that Tim Holtz came out with new paper? It's not new paper, but it's the old paper, but he has it available again. Many of you guys will not know, and many of you probably do know. So do you guys know all of the 12 by 12 paper pads that we loved from Tim Holtz for forever, that he retired a few years ago? They made them all again. They're limited edition. They're limited time only. They are not back forever. It is a one-time run. So whatever they made of them is selling out very quickly. If you want them, you are going to need to run, not walk, and go buy them. I don't know where they have them other than I saw them at I bought them at Simon Says Stamp the day that Tim released them, but they have all since sold out there and they are on pre-order. So if you go to Simon Says Stamp, it's literally Simon Says Stamp, and you can pre-order them. At least you could the other day, pre-order them. He made them in the 12 by 12 paper pads and he made them in the 8 by 8 paper pads. So the best thing about all of that information is, do you guys remember the 12 by 12 paper pads? They originally were just 12 by 12 sheets of paper every page. And then for whatever reason, he decided that it would be better to have one page be full size, but then have another page be 4 different pages in smaller size. And then they kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller on one page. I hated that. I could not use those tiny little ones, like they were like journal card size, but I wanted just 12 by 12 paper. So the way that he brought them back now, they're not a paper pad. They don't have glue. It's just a stack of papers in a package, which I love because there's no glue at the top, right? And all of the pages are full size 12 by 12s. None of that 6 by 6 quadrants and then 3 by 4 little tiny pieces. So if you guys want Tim Holtz paper, there's one that's French, there's one that's more manly, there's one that's botanical, like this is from the botanical book. It's the only page with bugs on it. The rest are just more botanical. There's the correspondence ones. There's the ones that's about, you guys know the Tim Holtz paper pads. I love them. And now that he brought them back, I can use the ones I've been hoarding. Plus, I ordered a ton of new ones because this is a one-time thing. They will not be available when these are finally gone. And I have all of his fabric from all those different paper pad lines. I have his fabric, and I want to make journals from the fabric. I want to make covers from the fabric. And now I will have the paper in quantity enough to put in those journals. So Simon Says Stamp pre-order. You might check on Etsy. Somebody might still have it on there, but they sold out very, very quickly. While he was live, Simon Says Stamp, which is the largest retailer of Tim Holtz products, they sold out of the paper that they had brought in while he was still doing the demonstration. And they brought in thousands of pads of paper for that launch. So he has a whole video on it where he shows you all the different pieces of paper in each collection. There are 6 different collections. One of them is called Abandoned, and it's more of a brighter color palette, but very worn with typography in it. And that's one collection that I missed out on. I didn't buy it when it was released, and now that's back, so I got that one. So if you guys are interested, I just wanted to mention it because I'm going to be using what I do have. So here's the thing. The original paper pads, once he retired them, they're selling on eBay for $60 per paper pad. And I want to use mine, but I don't want to use mine if I'm never going to be able to get them again. So now that he made them again, I can use the ones I had that were the originals. Plus, now they're all the 12 by 12 full print, not the tiny little prints. Plus, now I can have more. So anyway, that's enough about paper pads. I'm going to use his botanical ones, which I might have some more down here, because we can actually make 12 by 12 projects. I do have more. Let me crawl down here and grab some. I want the 8 by 8s and the 12 by 12s. Yes, I didn't have any 8 by 8s before he remade them. So this is what I'm talking about. This right here. Memoranda, my favorite. You guys will see me make a million memoranda journals at some point this year. I have been waiting to have enough paper to do it without using every paper in my stash. So, memoranda is all of these ones. You guys will probably remember these, all of these. But, so this is what I'm talking about with the tiny little ones. So this is full size. So there's full size. And at some point it switches. I don't know if I have any in here, but at some point it switches and it starts doing them as 6 by 6s. And then from there, it even gets smaller than that. And they start going to 3 by 4 or something tiny like that. I don't have it here, but this is the one paper pad I allowed myself to open and play with, which I know this sounds stupid, but it is what it is. So if you look, like, this is full size. Oh my gosh, camera, please stop. But look at how little they got. So these ones right here are the 6 by 6, and then they got tiny. For me, all of these tiny pages were wasted and half of the 6 by 6s were wasted. So when I bought this paper pack originally, all I was getting, I was losing all these pages down here. So I'm happy that they're all now full sizes. And we're going to use this one. I think I have some botanical ones here somewhere. So the botanical ones are called Wallflower. You guys will probably remember Wallflower. I need to fix the camera. I apologize. Wallflower and Memoranda. Those are the only 2 I have in here. There's one called Dapper that has some nice pieces in it. And there's a French one. I don't remember what the French one is called, but there's a French one. This is also kind of a botanical pattern. But let's play with those, since we can use them with like 0 guilt now. Oh, here's the small ones. So these are the small ones in Wallflower. Look at how tiny those were. Like, what can you make that is like a 3 by 3 square? For me, not much. I need tag size, or I need larger journal card size, or whatever. So I'm so happy they don't have the tiny ones in there. Now, some people probably really liked the tiny ones, but that wasn't me. Okay, so there's Tim Holtz. So I'm selling other people's things tonight. Yep, that's what's happened. All right, so let me set these papers down there. These were the ones. So this one, I don't know what book this came out of. It's not Tim Holtz, but it's sitting under there and I just found it. So let's make some ephemera out of these 12 by 12 thingies. Yeah, let's just make maybe some journal cards out of this one. And This one, maybe we can make some nice large pockets out of this one. I don't love the bugs, but he did these bugs to where I can handle them. Nothing is too gross. Like Kendall, don't look, but there's bees on here. But Kendall hates bees. But these bugs are not like, even though there's like grubs and caterpillars, I don't find these too disgusting, which normally I would never use anything that has bugs on it. But I think it's okay. So I think we can put this in our journal. The back of it is just like a tile pattern. So let's make something out of these 12 by 12s. My brain needs to think on that for a minute. Back to this. I'm scatterbrained. Can you tell? You love the bugs? Tabs, I know, but to me it was just like a bunch of scraps where I had a hard time using those. Correspondence is one of my favorites, but it's like the letter one. Memoranda is definitely my favorite. The wallflower vellum, I would have loved to have had that one, Shelly, but I never bought it, and I just was very upset about that fact. I really wanted it on vellum and just never got it. So back to these, and the reason why I was looking down here in the first place is because there's 12 by 12 copy dyed paper down here. I promise I will get it together. Well, I promise I will try to get it together. I can't even grab copy dyed paper out yet. I need to do some rearranging and cleaning up in this room because it has just gotten way messy because I haven't had time to like put every single thing away like I normally do after I film videos or after I do craft with me. And so things have been kind of getting a little bit too messy for me. Now this paper is printed double-sided, so we either need to decide to do a project with it double-sided or we need to back it, one or the other. Do you guys remember when I made those folded pockets where we kind of folded them and then they tucked into each other? I don't know if that would be a good project for this. I need a pocket to do with this. A pocket that glues down to a page. And there's one on my list and I want to make it. But if I make it now with you guys, I can't use it for a video. So I have to make an old pocket. An old folded pocket out of this. I mean, we can make simple pockets. Just simple pockets. Maybe I'll just make like an envelope that kind of is a pocket and it flips down and you can write on the inside of it. I'm really struggling with these. I got them out and I want to use them, but I'm really struggling with them. I think I just need to use them and then I'll stop struggling with them. Let's make a little fold out folio. I know it's not a pocket, but let's make a little fold out folio. I want something where I can see the paper. So if I fold this one up as a pocket, we have a whole lot of gray going on. And if I fold this one up as a pocket, we have a whole lot of purple and the back side is kind of gray. I don't think there is a plus or a minus. We're just going to do it. So I'm going to fold up the bottom about 2 inches. So this is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And I just folded up the bottom about 2 inches. And then I'm going to fold it. And I know we recently made something similar to this. I'm going to make it a try and maybe we'll glue it on as a tuck or a pocket. I don't know. So I'm going to fold it into thirds without scoring or measuring. I do want it to be straight though. My little corner, I need a bone folder. My little corner down here, since it's already folded up, is not wanting to fold nice. There we go. All right, so I folded that one over and now I'm going to fold this one in like this. Not quite that far. Yeah, let's do it like that. So I left one side smaller. Still not folded straight. If I can't fold straight, we're in for a long, long night. There we go. So I did this. It's just a simple little folio thingy that flips out. Now let's kind of plan for this to be glued to a page. So on one of the pages, it's going to be glued down and then it will flip over maybe. And we'll decorate this side. I'm not sure. It's just going to be a flip out. So I think we glue this one down to a page. So if this is a journal page, we glue it down right there. And it will be a tuck on the page this way. I mean, it's just paper, but it will be a tuck this way. It will have a little pocket here, and then it will flip out like this. Now, we could, because we have 3 pockets, like, you know, all the way around, we could cut this pocket and flip that pocket to the other side, or cut the middle pocket and flip the middle pocket to the other side. Let's flip the middle one to the other side. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut on the, right on the line. Right on the line, and I need to fold it the other way so I can see the line, but right on the line so that I can cut it and flip it to the other side. And I inked it, so hopefully you guys can also see where I'm cutting. But cut out your middle pocket so we can turn that pocket to the other part of the paper. I'm pretty sure that was not what I wanted, but it's okay. So now this is going to go this way. And as long as nothing is butting up against each other, which this one is, need to just take a little sliver off. I can see that's good. That pocket's okay. This one needs a sliver. So you don't want your pockets where the paper is hitting the paper next to it, because it makes it kind of not want to fold back in on itself nice. And you can see how crooked I cut that. Can you guys see how crooked that little end is cut? That's why it's hitting each other. Apparently I'm going to have crooked eyes all night, so that will be fun. So now we have a pocket on the back. So this is still gluing down like this. This one also needs a little sliver. You might as well just cut a little sliver off of every pocket. And this one's getting crooked because it's not wanting to play nice. Nice. I just need to cut right here. Good. That's it. Last one. So now this is going to be here. It's going to glue down, and we're going to have a tuck right here. And because it's a tuck right there, I might clip that corner. I just think when I want it to be a tuck, clipping a corner kind of tells the person, yeah, that's a tuck back there. So like that. And then it folds in and folds in. And now we have this pocket right here in the back. So let's thumb hole punch these, notch these, and ink them and decorate them. You might, I'm going to do it. I was almost not going to thumb hole notch, but you know, it just looks better. It's just kind of almost more decorative than necessary sometimes. This is just paper, and so it's not like cardstock. I think cardstock is harder to get things in and out. So I just thumb hole notch those. How many of you guys are actually trying to craft along with me, even though I'm having to remake this project? How many of you guys are trying to do it with me? I know it's so limited though, guys. It's selling out much faster than they anticipated. I'm telling you. And you know how many people have waited for 12 by 12? Because right now he does have paper in the line. It's just the small sheets of paper. It's the 6 by 10 size sheets of paper. So, and they're different patterns. These are the originals. These are the ones we all love from, early 2020, which, it sounds stupid to say that, but they're from early 2020. Most of them. Some of them go back to like 2014. But the French one, I want to do a project with the French one. So if you guys grab the French one, we can do that. The French one is called French Industrial or something like that. Somebody else out there will know. But the French Industrial one, it's more like, to me, it's got some lovely scripty old French documents. Most of what is in that is actual scans of the old French documents, and I have many of those documents. So it's just nice to have a pad of paper that's basically scans of the things I own. So there we go for that one. The middle is open. We can do something fun there. We got a little pocket there. It folds and it folds. So let's finish inking the sides. I'll be quicker with my ink. French Industrial. How many of you guys hoarded the paper? I don't want to feel like the only freak out there that was just like hoarding my paper and not like gonna use it. Do you guys, whether it was that one or another one, do you guys hoard paper pad? Do you hoard your favorite papers? Maybe I was the only weirdo out there just hoarding their paper and refusing to use it, even though I tell you guys not to hoard your things because, like we got to use it and enjoy it, right? And I did have it under my desk, and I had already pulled that one page to use for these botanical journals because I was using it before I even know he brought it back. But that day when I found out he brought it back, I was like, oh, well, now I can just use the whole entire paperback. Anyway, I probably am the only weirdo. It wouldn't be the first time. Now we all hoard the French things, and I hoard less and less of it, but some of it is just expensive, right? Like it is, we need to scan it, and then we can use the originals and the printouts. So I'm inking everything, including the fold lines on this. I also get confused as to like what I have already inked and what I haven't already inked. The Eco Die is just, it does that. Don't need to ink that one because that one's getting glued down. So everything there is inked, top and bottom. We're good. All of that is inked, top and bottom. And we're good there except for that and that. Okay, finally. Finally, I'm good with the inking. Free feeling is great. Just scan them if you're able to scan them, like if they're out of copyright, scan them. Proud hoarder, awesome. See, okay, I'm not the only weirdo out there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Awesome. All right, guys. So let's put some, we'll put some ephemera in here, but for this middle section, because we have so many pockets, I feel like this middle section would be a great place to do like a little scrappy journaling spot. I don't want to make it like a full-on notepad where there's a ton of paper in it, but maybe just 3 sheets of paper right here, or even one right there would be good, just so that, we have all these pockets. We don't really need, we don't need ephemera here. You could just put journaling space here just with like a rough torn piece of paper. That would be cute too, since you kind of take away journaling space from whatever is going to be. I'm not going to glue it to this page. This page is just here to like, show you guys how it's going to work. but we could just put coffee dyed paper that's kind of got like a rough natural torn edge to it. But I kind of want to do a little scrappy notepad. I don't know why, I just want to do scrappy notepads all the time. This one right here is also blank. Now you could come in and add some little pockets, or right here could have been a little belly band. We could do a little belly band up the middle section of this one. It is just paper. Now it's 28-pound paper, which is kind of sturdy. So I'm not afraid of putting some stuff in there, but let's decorate some while we think about that middle section. I need to find, I have 0 room in here. I can't put this there. I'm crammed because I didn't put away my things. So the 2 little ephemera packs that I keep going to for the field note botanical journal that we're making, whatever. I'm using organic. And the other one I linked had those flowers that I just used on the mushroom. That one is called, what is that one called? I don't know what that one is called, but it's the one with the little, you guys will have to look. It's the one with the little black advertising cards and calling cards. It has a bunch of botanical cutouts and mushroom cutouts and these thingies in it. So whatever one has these in it is the pack. I don't remember what that one is called. I need to buy some more of these ones. So if somebody finds it, tell me. If somebody knows what this pack is called, tell me, because I need to buy some more of them. Because for 3 journals, I really don't have that much of this kind of thing to play with. While I have these out here, how fun would it be to decorate one of the envelopes with just this? Like, I think that might be kind of fun. So, or one of the pockets with that. This is the one that you're going to see because it'll be folded up on the page. So you're going to see this one right here the most. I like the first one the best. It's more muted in color. There's a ton of these. I probably have 10 or 15 more that were sitting there. Even this little advertising card would be cute right there. These are just, they're little ephemera pieces that you tuck in, or you can just use them as little pockets. So I think I'm going to put that one there. Or this one. Well, one of those is going there. These are the little flowers that's in that other pack. Did anybody type it in? These are the little flowers. So this is all one pack from what I remember. This is all one pack. Does anybody know what pack this one is called? I linked it, I thought, the other day, but now I have forgotten. It has butterflies, flowers, and those calling cards in it. I think. It's not Memra, so I don't know what it is called. Anyway. It's not Field Note. I don't know what it's called. But on the note of Field Note, let's grab that out. So here's some of Field Note we can use to decorate up the rest of this. Field Note has these really muted, old looking botanical flowers and butterflies and mushrooms. So I'll use one of these here in a minute. If we're working on this one right here, we're going to have to put some book page in here or some handwritten document. Here's a little bit of ledger. Whatever I put, I kind of need to go through this middle section where it's open and white. Here's a little brown paper. Need to get rid of this white edge. It's not going to work for me. And then we'll line that up and get that up in there somewhere. Even if I have to repunch the hole again, I'm good with that. So that looks good. What else do we have in my scrap pile over here? I have some dictionary. I have, ooh, that reminds me. These I included in your, so this was part of your little bonus. I did a whole little bonus package for you guys. I did some of these pieces of paper because I think for backing labels and things, to back items on. So like you have this mushroom right here, you know, just for backing things, I love this little graph paper. So I'm just going to take a piece of it and we're going to put some of that on here somewhere. You know what? Maybe this needs to be like the top page to our little journaling spot. Maybe it's not so much a journaling spot as a place to tear off little pages to play with in your journal. So maybe we leave one there. Doesn't mean we can't decorate with one, but maybe we leave one there. So just like little torn edge, kind of in that area. I don't like it on that pocket. Let's see this other pocket out here. I know we were going to put a calling card there, but maybe we put that and a calling card. No, it looks weird. Okay, well, let's go back in here then. We're looking, so there's even little bugs in the field note one. We're going to put it here, I guess. Right there, I guess. So that can go there. This guy's going here, so I'm just kind of collaging some of the pockets up. Then we have just some dictionary page. Let's just use a little bit of this. Kind of like it better right there. Okay, so the little dictionary page going there. Trying to save the page number and a little bit at the top. Yes, that is exactly what I want right there. Okay, we got one piece, guys. I have been inking around almost everything for this journal so far, which is not normally how I do, but this is a field note. It's kind of like, you know, they were out in the field, so there's a little dirt or grunge here or there, and I kind of like that. Do I have anything to glue on? I do. Organic. You just got it? Awesome. There's another one, though. This is the organic one. There's another one, and it's not organic. It's botanic, maybe? I don't know. Maybe it's called botanic. I don't know. There's another pack. He has another one that is the little calling card and flower one and field note. So those three, the one I can't remember the name, but might be botanic, the organic, and the field note one, all three of those from Tim Holtz will work for our journals. All of them. I'm going to wrap that, but we'll see how long that lasts. Okay. And then we need some kind of flower, butterfly, something. You could put your little mushrooms right there. That's actually pretty darn cute. So maybe we put the little mushrooms right there. And then maybe one other element on that one, and that one is done. I'm going to grab some of these little tiny, they're like little slide labels. The botanical, okay. Palette is my all-time favorite, Wendy, but not the one I was thinking of. I'm going to look it up right now because I think it is botanic. Botanical? I don't know. I'm pretty sure that is what it is because I need to order more and I almost forgot. Botanical. Botanical is the regular flowers. That's not the same one. It's this one. What is this one called? Layers Botanical. Wow. Did he have two of them? Hold on. What is the flower one called? The regular flower one called? So there's one that's really, really the one with the big white borders around all of the flowers. That one says it's called Botanicals. But then there's another one that is also called Layers Botanical. Let me find it actually for sale somewhere so I can tell you guys. So Joanne, I hate Joanne, so I'm just going to tell you that. And I don't say that often, guys. I don't. But I am going to tell you this one is for sale at Joann's, and it's called Botanical Layers. So I think there must be two different ones, but Botanical Layers has those black calling cards, birds, butterflies, and very, very like antique botanical etchings in it. So apparently he has two botanical packs. I don't have one in a package anymore, but if you look it up and see the one with the black calling cards, it's actually called Botanical Layers, which we know this one is called Botanical. Like this one is Layers Botanical, but I'm not talking about this one. I'm talking about a different one. This one is only flowers and butterflies. The one I'm talking about has those black calling cards in it and these flowers. So we're on this whole Tim Holtz thingy right now, or at least I am, and you're just having to suffer through it. But this is the other pack. And I know it looks similar, but it's not. It's entirely different. It has all these black calling card pieces in it, and it has flowers that look like this. Like very different. Some of the flowers are in black and white. That's one of them. They're very different than those large white bordered flowers. These ones all right here are from that other pack. These daisies are not in the other pack. This one is not in the other pack. I keep them separate. And then there's butterflies, but these butterflies are not from the pack I just showed you. They're different. This bird, if you can find the one with this bird, that's that pack. This little rose thing is something different. But then there's all of this. And we get into the black calling cards. These thingies. I don't know, maybe he retired it or redid it. Hello, Melissa. Well, Joann's is showing, and I don't want to advertise for them, but Joanne, let me find it on Amazon. Because if it's available on Amazon, then it tells me it's still available out there. And I can actually link it, so you don't have to buy it from Amazon, but if I actually link it, you guys can see which one I'm talking about. And I need to order it, so it's not completely a waste because I need to put it in my cart. Okay. So the first one that comes up is the not the one with the black calling cards. Then I see field notes. I see field notes again. I don't see one with black calling cards on Amazon either. Maybe they don't make it anymore, which would make me really sad. But this one that I searched, that's what happens whenever I mess with the controls. I'm coming back. So whenever I look at it online, it will show me the pack that I'm talking about is available at Joann's. And I'll try to drop a link for that one, but I don't know if it will let me. Maybe this place right here has the best link. A place called Frantic Stamper. Okay, I'm linking it now. You guys can all see it now. A place called Frantic Stamper, and it says they have 5 in stock. Sorry, I disconnected my own self. This one right here, this is the one I'm talking about. It actually shows a picture. It has that little bird, the black calling cards, butterflies, and flowers. And she says she has 5 in stock, and she is in Oregon. I kicked myself out. Okay. Anyway, back to this. So I need to find those and order them. Maybe they are like old stock. I'm not sure, but those are the ones I need for this project. That kind of works for me. So I'm going to leave that pocket alone, and I'm going to finish this pocket over here. I'm going to put that there and repunch the hole for it. Do you guys see that pack is different, but it's also called Botanical? I know, right, Rebecca? I've never heard of her before, but you know, if she has that thing that I'm looking for, then she's my best friend right now. Because I have really been enjoying the botanicals from that pack, and apparently I had forgotten that I even had that pack. So that's good. This one here is mostly Field Note. They used to be separated in that little bin, but this is mostly Field Note. I don't know if I just want to put that on there and a little label. Probably. This needs inked before I can tell if I like it or not. For me, the little white border, when it is on things, like this is the one from Field Note and it is on there, you can just ink it away pretty much. And you guys know that marker I told you about to go around your fussy cuts? You can totally just take that marker and go around things too if you don't want to ink around them. I would use this little bug, but some people don't like bugs. And so while I'm not opposed to having 1 or 2 little things with bugs in this journal, I definitely don't want to do bug and bug and bug, because more than likely someone will not want that. So let's ink around this little guy. These little labels, I don't know what these are called, but they're tiny little labels. You guys will see them. They're the ones that are from like microscope slides. I know we had a Halloween pack, or maybe this is the Halloween pack. I don't know. So I think we're just doing this on here. I like it. It's good. We need to glue this down and move on after my Tim Holtz search and chat. I have to tell you guys though, because if I didn't tell you about the Tim Holtz paper and then it was sold out by the time you did see me use it, you guys would be upset with me. I know you would. Like, not mad, but you know, like, why didn't you share with your friends kind of information? So I'm going to put this label on first. I'm going to put this mushroom on. There's about 20 cards in the pack. This is the March journal, except for I'm just making ephemera, just general ephemera. I have not started the official stuff for that kit yet, so don't stress out. We also agreed as a group, kind of me, but everyone went along with it, that we will not have a new kit for April. We're just going to continue to work in that one Botanical Field Note journal. That way everyone has a chance to get their kit before I actually start making the cover and building the journal and all that. Just kind of give everyone some more time, including myself, to get everything that I need done. So we will not have an April kit. We'll just scoot on right through till May for everything. So I didn't officially start. I'm just happened to be making some botanical ephemera. I'm going to have a new digital in my Etsy store, several of them by morning. Don't want to glue that. Several of them by morning. One of them is a full pack of this paper. This paper is the eco-dyed paper. So I'm going to be putting that in Etsy tonight. It'll be available for you guys to get and download in the morning. If you do have your kit already, there was one of these sheets in there that was double-sided printed, so you could make this entire project. However, I know I'm putting several pages of the eco-dyed paper in my journals. You guys all got one, so at least you'd have one to play with. But if you are looking for more, you know, I'm not going to get mad if you copy the one that's there. But you could definitely copy it and then have several sheets to use, or you could get the new digital out of Etsy and use that. I ask that you don't sell the things that are mine, but you're welcome to copy it and use it in your own journal. Okay, so from here, we've got 2 pockets decorated. I need to re-punch. It's really just that tiny little sliver right there. Almost. That's how precise I have to be about it. So there's that back. Cute, very cute. I love it. I have been having so much fun playing with botanical things. Let me get rid of these little scraps. And now we have this little pad of paper here, and I have some offcuts, just offcuts of paper. Ooh, look at that, guys. It's meant to be. So if you want, you could just glue. I would rough tear around it before I glued it down. Just for journaling space in the center. You could add a little diagonal pocket in the center. You could do belly band. You could do all those things. For me, I'm just going to make a little notepad of 3 different kinds of paper right here, so that the person can tear these papers out and play with them and decorate, or they could use them as journaling space. I don't know if I want this with that. Do I or don't I? I guess. Let's make this one rough torn and we'll tear the rust also. Not quite that rough torn, but let's see. And then this one up here. It just needs to stay in there and be able to close. It's kind of like a graph and graph, but I'm going to go with it. You guys know those round graphs? You guys who have been with me for a long time, you guys know those round graphs that I have? I forgot about them completely when I built this kit, but I want to put one of those in my journal too. So I'm going to make sure I bring those. I don't know if I'll have packs of them or if I'll just have like single round graphs. I haven't decided what's happening with them yet, but I'm going to bring those to the next time we have a live sale. Or I could see about scanning them, but I don't know. So I think we're good. The only thing is everything is so like straight at the bottom, and I can't do the straightness of it all. So it's a little more scrappy. Already bought out of Frantic Scrapper. Well, guys, I'm sure they are out there available somewhere. They may be on Amazon, but I just couldn't find it quickly. We'll have to keep looking. Joann's is showing the right picture and saying they have it, but when I clicked on it, it went to the other, you know, the regular flower one with regular butterflies. So we'll have to look into that. Hopefully you guys didn't buy everything that's out there, but you know, if you did, you did. It's all good. I have whatever I have here, so it will be fine. I'm sure that they are out there, but we just gotta, I don't know why 2 things are called botanical. Maybe there was an old pack and he redid it or something. Or maybe, in fact, they are called different things, but I couldn't figure it out. Was it this way or was it the other way? I don't know, but let's make it like this. So all I'm going to do is do some glue. I don't want to use a staple in here because this piece has to fold up onto itself. And so I just want to put the smallest amount of little glue here and kind of, I say that, and then it goes out of the top. But I don't want to put a staple because I don't want, as you fold it up and press it into a journal, those staples, whatever. I guess we could use washi tape and stick this down up here at the top. I have been using this black washi tape for this journal, and I think we're going to continue to stick our little notepad in. This washi tape is very sticky. Yeah, that'll work. So I will just add a little glue to hold my washi. And then I'm going to put my little notepad. It's all in, it's okay. And there's that. So that's what that looks like. And it's going to glue down to any journal page when I finally do make my journal. We're going to make things and stick them in the pocket. We have this piece right here that we need to do something with. And we have the outside page as well. So see, some of these projects that just, you know, they're not fast makes. They take a moment. My glue's got a bubble in it. They take a moment. And so some of these, it's just better to work through them like this than take up, you know, one of our classes working on something like this. I want to do a large, like, whole page decoration here. We're going to need to back it with some kind of paper. You can back it with ledger or book page. Here's a pretty fern, or even this. I like the fern. Let's try to do something with this fern as a focal point. So I'm going to try to fold it. Yep, Field Notes has a large and a small. If you like tiny, tiny, tiny pieces, get the snippets. If you want this size, this is the regular Field Note. So the regular Field Note will have pieces that are more usable, in my opinion. The snippets is for decorating tiny things or putting, think about it like putting stuff in like a little locket or something. The snippets is very small. All of his snippets is very, very small little pieces. I don't generally use much of the snippets unless it is like a label or something like that kind of pack. You know, if you were using it for, you know, something small, it'd be fine. But for journals, I think that's too small. So there's that, unless I want to smudge it up or crinkle it or something, which I think you do want to give it a little squish. It can't look quite that perfect. We got a nice bend right there. I need a nice bend like right here. Yeah, that's perfect. So that will go there, but we need a layer behind. For the layer behind, I would love some very old aged looking paper. Something that's going to warm that up. I have this old dictionary page. It's not quite as warm as I wanted it, but maybe that would look cute right there. Let's ink this edge and see about using this grungy old book edge in there too. This is like getting a little grungy. I don't know. I'm really getting my inking out, which I don't usually do, and I have been enjoying it. It's been nice to kind of do something a little different, less frilly and all that good stuff. Don't get me wrong, the frill will always be my favorite, but the less frilling is also a little more freeing, in my opinion. I don't have to stress so much about it being so Victorian and so cutesy beautiful, or whatever you want to call it. Oh, guys, I got a beautiful, beautiful fashion magazine in the other day, and I'm going to share it with you guys. It's wonderful. I'll show it to you guys. I don't know if I'm sharing it. I think I'm sharing it, but I'll show it to you guys. So let's put this dictionary and let's put this fern. I would love this fern to be a little green, but, you know, I'm going to leave it. I just need this to be able to fit on this thing, and I cut it just ever so slightly too big. Yep, just ever so slightly too big. after all of that, it can't overhang the side. I'm definitely crinkled. Yeah. You want to know like how crinkled you are? Just try wearing a formal gown when you haven't worn a formal gown in a while. Yeah. Yeah, that'll work there. It fits at least on the page. So let's glue that down. I am going to use the glue stick because these are larger. I'm going to use the glue stick for the dictionary at least. Am I? I'm actually not. And the reason why is because it's the glue stick for me, it has been making things just ever so slightly too wet for me to like it I don't know how to say it. It's been warping things just a little bit too much for me. And I've noticed it in the videos too, where it's taking a little longer to dry than what I want. And so let's just go with no glue stick for that and for this. The paper's getting soggy too. If it's like super thin paper, it would be fine if you had time to let it dry, but in those videos, I don't have time to let it dry either, so I'm just doing that for today. Slide that over, a little off center. I like it. Now we need a number label for right here. And I kind of feel like I've been using like all the good ones. I'm sure there are still good ones in here. Not what I wanted to happen, but there's one. Let's use that. There's actually two. Do we want that form or this? That one and ink it. That was cute, Amy. Okay. What? I know, Nancy. I made a whole video about that when I got, because it said 40% off, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, we were in the parking lot for something else, and I went to Joann's, and it was a scam. And not only that, when you got inside, they had a sign saying an extra 30% off and an extra 20% off and a whatever, and none of it was actually true. She basically told me, oh yeah, we need to take down those signs, which may be the case, but I just felt like the whole entire thing was a scam. And so I actually told you guys, because I don't want, you guys thinking. Plus, they took away their gift cards. So people that bought gift cards and gave them out as presents at Christmas time, their gift cards are now worthless. And, you knew you were going to file bankruptcy. You knew you were in serious financial trouble. Why were you out there selling gift cards except for the fact that you knew you were going to do it and you didn't care? And so bad people and bad companies, and I say bad people because there was a person and people behind the name Joann's. Those people sat on that board and they made those decisions, and I can't call them good people at that point. I just can't. So anyway, I'm going to leave that decorated like that, the inside like that. We've got one more out here to decorate, and it is the sky. And so this is the one you're actually going to see most of. And now I've used all my good decorating. Here's a gigantic bee. I don't think I want that. We've already used butterflies and we've already used mushrooms. So what else do we have in here? We need some flowers. I feel like flowers would be good. Those ones almost are too tall. Apparently one of these sets has little stamps in it. Maybe it's field notes. I don't know, but one of them had these little stamps in there. That's a tax stamp, a French tax stamp. I don't know if I want everything blue. Let me see what else I've got in this little bin behind me. This bin has a ton of just random ephemera bits in it. And it is the one where I had most of this botanical stuff. So I know we were talking about putting a calling card there. I would have to put something else, but this whole entire thing So don't yell. But see, I have some, but I always need more. If it's my favorite, I need more. So yes, there is some in here, all different kinds of sizes and things. But anyway, there's that. We'll leave that there. Let's look at this calling card now that I've got this blue stuff on here. Could we do like that? I feel like we're not frilly on any of the other part of this, and it kind of would be a shame to be frilly out here when the rest of it is very, not frilly. So maybe we will not do that here, but I'll save it for somewhere else. I've got little bits of paper. Let's get a background layer going because I don't know what else I want to do yet, but I did find some German dictionary, and I think that would be a lovely background layer to this pocket. So I pulled out like, I don't know, a chunk of that book. And let's do some German. I don't even care if I get the main header in, but I want to have some dictionary. And so I won't use the white bits, but I will use the other bits. So let me cut the white bit off. I'm sorry that there is so much scamming going on in the world, guys. It's sad and it's unnecessary. And I just don't know why people cannot be good about that stuff. Um, it's just a shame. People already have, the people getting scammed, they're not the people with billions of dollars. And people are already having enough of a hard time as it is without some rich corporation board members agreeing to just scam the little guy out of his money. It's really, really sad. And again, not trying to be political because, not saying it that way. I'm just saying, I just hate that companies, do those kinds of things. It's really unfortunate because the people who are hurt the most are always the people who really cannot afford to have this stuff happen. I keep trying to use a flower and I just can't make it work. I can't make it work. I need another grungy element. I might just have to do like a mushroom and ooh, that's kind of nice right there though. Maybe we do that and we cut off the stem and we do like a stamp. Because this is, naturey enough. And we cut a stamp and we put like a stamp right here. I might have to use an old stamp though, because I don't feel like a new stamp is going to give us that same look. So let me pull out some old stamps. I don't necessarily want one that's on paper, but there are some that have like fallen off of their paper or just about. Here's a green one. That one's actually a little too green. Getting very, very picky with my stamps here. Maybe this one. Eventually, I will find the perfect thing. Orange. There is some rusty color in the Eco Dye. Sometimes I get mad because, you don't have to be this picky, but my OCD brain just forces it to be like that. And sometimes it's quite frustrating how you can't just do. That black and white one up there is kind of nice. There's whatever that one is. There's that one. I have plenty of options. So, brain, you're just going to have to let it be. I think it's going to be that black one. I don't know where that black one is from. I mean, I would assume France, but I'm not sure. But I do like it. So let's use it. They do get us, don't they? Now, I would have been mad if I actually like I was mad, but not like for their I was mad that they were doing those kinds of things to other people. But I would have been really more upset had I actually specifically, gotten in the car and drove there for their sale. But because I was just happened to be in the parking lot, while it was frustrating, it was not like, I didn't waste gas and whatever. I just wasted my time and a little frustration. And what I found there was some sets of Tim Holtz from the vault little dies that I didn't have. Apparently, I missed them when they came out and didn't get them. And I didn't get them that day either. And I still don't have them because I just didn't want to pay. They were higher priced on the super, super clearance sale than they were when it was just regular Joann's before they were going out of business. So it made me mad and I didn't buy them. Anyway, we're going to do that. For the outside pocket, it's not quite as nice as I would like it to be. In truth, I would love to put some nice mushrooms there, but I just don't know if I can because we have mushrooms on the inside. So we're just going to do this and I'm just going to be okay with it. Yeah, I know. It's just things, the rates of income, the pay did not increase at the same rate as everything else. And it's really getting hard for everyone out there. Um, you know, I struggle with whatever I struggle with here, because my son is, he's sick and he's not working. And, I thought I was at a point of not having to, let me do this flower first, not having to, pay for, my kids. I thought, well, they're old, they're adults. Like, I didn't really think I was going to have to be fully paying for and supporting, um, you know, for kids at this age. And I didn't think, I was going to have to pay as much out of pocket for his medical stuff as I have. All of that kind of stuff has gotten a lot more expensive and it's just really sad. It's really sad out there. But, you know, I'm I'm able to work and do these, even if it's making journals or whatever, I'm able to work and I'm happy and thankful that I am able to work and I am able to, do the things I need to do for my family. And I know everyone else out there, we're just doing what we got to do for our families. I'm going to add a little bit more glue where I peeled up this flower petal. And by a little, obviously too much, but that's good. So let's cut off this stem. And now everything is decorated on the outside. We just need to make the ephemera pieces for the inside. So there's that. It's very uncolorful on the pocket, but now we'll make some tag or something that will go in there that will be beautiful and colorful. And I want to use that piece of Tim Holtz scrapbook paper. I filled up my glue and it's just wanting to come out the top every 5 seconds. Now we will use that Tim Holtz scrapbook paper. I do want to keep these separate because in that little bin, I need a plastic tray for in here. And I keep forgetting to bring one in from the other room. But let's make some journal cards and tags for these pockets. So let's use that piece of Tim Holtz scrapbook paper. I don't know what I was saying other than it sucks. I don't know how to say. It's just getting tough out there for everyone, right? So let's cut this one into some tags. How wide? This little pocket thing right here ended up being like 3.5 would be a good size for a tag in there. 3.5 for this pocket. 3.25 for that one. And for this one, it's probably closer to 2.75. Yeah, we can go 3 on that one. So 3, 3.25, and 3.5. Okay. And obviously I can't use the same scrapbook paper for every one of them, but I know we can use this section that's different over here. I'm going to cut that one to 3.5. And I'm going to cut the whole thing. And then let's cut this one this way at the 3.25. And I don't want to cut the whole side of that. I want to cut it to about there. And the height on this guy, he is 6 inches or so will do. I need to snip off this piece. I want to save this 45-cent price tag down here at the bottom. I need it for something else. So if we do, let's do it this way at 6 inches. I might even do 5.75. So we did this guy at 3.25 by 5.75. It looks crooked. Is it crooked? Ever so slightly. I must have snipped right there with scissors. Well, it doesn't cut anything, so maybe it's visual. There's one. And let's do this one also at 5.75. And then we have some cute little pieces for later. And then there's this other piece of cardstock right here. I don't know for sure if it goes in here, but let's go ahead and cut a 3-inch tag or a 3-inch journal card, and we will see. We will find out together. It's a piece of scrapbook paper where if it didn't go in this journal, I seriously doubt I will have other journals. I mean, eventually, yes, but I don't use this kind of theme very often, this woodsy theme very often. So there's our pieces. They have them right now. That's awesome. Thank you, Dana. I appreciate that. Making me feel better about it. Okay, so this is our little flip outy thing. This one is the widest one, and again, it's very blending in. We will definitely have to add color to that. I don't know if I can move that one to a different pocket, but I would check. Yeah, it's going to be too wide for that pocket. So it has to go here. And in fact, it may be too wide for that one because I forgot we snipped in our little edges. So I may be trimming some off, but anyway, there's that. And this is for the, I guess it goes this way. I don't want my bugs upside down. And then this one is for this one. Or we could do it like this. It also has bugs on it. Interesting. It's full like little bug folio. I really like this. I love the way that came out. And our little scrappy notepad. So this guy, he looks like he will fit in here. It looks like this one will need trimmed down a little bit. Let me just cut it. Or actually, nope, that one's longer. I was going to use the other piece, but it's longer. Let's cut this side. And I'm going to go ahead and cut it 1/4 of an inch and see if that is even enough. One piece of ephemera taken 2 hours. We chatted for a while in the beginning, but so we're going to do it like this. Although I could do it like that. No, you better do it like that. I don't know. But there's that one. We need focal points, large focal points that have some interest to them. I mean, if I if I put something else back there and blend all that white in, perhaps. I just need large focal points. This one's better. Well, we have flowers down there at the bottom, but maybe a gigantic bird on something. I don't know. This one's going to bother me because this is not colorful enough. And I don't want to mix up my thingies. It's black and white flowers on black and white flowers, but maybe the person wants to color it. I don't know. It's getting better. Can't put that giant bird on there now. I think maybe we're just going to get out some like other pack of Tim Holtz ephemera and use that. All these little ones are falling everywhere. That's why this stuff usually sits in a bin, because it just does this. Okay, so there's that. Keeping it separate. I have an orange and yellow flower and I have a bird. Let's see what other kind of journal cards or something this can sit on. I think I found something. What if we did this? So what if I did that and I did this? That tag actually fits in there. And then I have a journal card. Now I could trim down the journal card and put it on that tag. It's just I needed color. So I'm desperately searching for anything that will add color. Here's another piece that could go in here if we decorate it. Any kind of colorful stuff that isn't too frilly or girly or roses or that kind of thing. I have bins of ephemera everywhere at this point. Here's a little postcard too. I don't want to tuck too much in this, but we have some options at least. If I continue with this theme and put that back there as a layering piece, even though it is sideways, can I get, maybe there is a smaller bird and the little birdie can like sit up there on the little card. Why did I make my life so much more difficult by not adding enough color to that pocket? I knew I wasn't happy with it, but I did it anyway. And now my life is much harder. There's got to be a little bird in here somewhere. I know he comes in different sizes because I've used him before. Here's a tiny one. Maybe this one is the right one. He looks strange, but maybe it's because he needs to be inked. I think we're going to go with the butterfly. Are you guys tired of me yet? Because I'm tired of me. We'll do a little butterfly. I was hoping for an orange one, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers kind of situation, I guess. It's really all I have. So, that being said, these are super annoying me right now, and we need to find a bin for them. Because they're going everywhere. And all my little pieces always are down here at the very bottom. Okay. I don't see any more colorful butterflies. I still liked this better. So what if I trim this down and put it on this tag as the focal point? I think we're agreed that that is the way we're going. So there's the trimmer. I appreciate you guys being supportive. Thank you. I'll end up making this too small. And then we need some book page or something back there to layer this up on. We need to decide which side they want to journal on. I mean, both sides are interesting. I think I'm going to put it on this side. We're going to ink around it. We're going to add another layer back there. And then the good thing is it's already a copy dyed tag. So I don't have to add copy dyed paper or anything to the back. And they have journaling space. Now the bad thing is it's a pretty thick shipping tag. And so this little thing is made out of 28-pound paper, and you got to be very careful with what else we add to this so it does not get too thick. And this guy definitely has to have something warm behind him. He cannot have any type of ivory cold paper. It needs to be very grungy and aged and warm. So that one, or this one, or even possibly this. So we're going to save this. We didn't end up using it because it just blended in too much with that. Let me see how I like this. I always save packing paper when I can like get it and it's not too wrinkly. I kind of like it. I don't know if you guys like it, but I kind of like it. So let's, probably too skinny, but let's tear a piece. And if I line that straight edge up on that side, can I get, not quite. It's all right. We'll make it work. We're going to force this to work. Yes, we are. I think that's good. However, see how there's none peeking out over there? Because you're gluing, so if this ever happens to you, I have brown paper around 3 sides, but you can see I don't have any brown paper over here. If you're gluing down, just totally cheat and poke yourself out another little piece of brown paper over there. There's no reason why you can't cheat. Like this one's a little too small, but just cheat and do it instead of cutting yourself another piece of paper. It's totally fine to just stick it under there. Yep, there we go. That's working just fine. The only thing is we got to tear off that corner, but we're good now. Like I can put this over there and cheat it out this side, but I kind of like the way that's torn, so I'm going to cheat it out this side. We're all good. We know what we're doing now. I'm not inking the brown because there's really not a point to it. It's already brown. And I'm just going to keep going with this because I feel like it's a little faster and it's less drying time. And then this one's just going to cheat out underneath there. Right in that area. And that can actually get torn off. And then we're going to glue this on. When I'm using Tim Holtz Ephemera, more often than not, I don't use glue stick on it because it's already thick card. Most of his stuff is, decently thick. The layers are definitely thick. And so that's going to go right on there. Trying to keep up high. I forgot about that. We want to see it in our pocket. There we go. There's that. We just need a label. I want a long label to fill in this area. If I had, and I do, this guy once inked, maybe he will work. When you ink these ones, you can take away a lot of that red. A lot of people didn't buy these little labels when he had a pack of them because they're very white and not in a good way. They're kind of a blue white. But if you ink them up pretty good, you can get them looking pretty vintage. And going over that red kind of makes it more realistic looking. The coloring I just don't think was right with them. So I think I'm going to do that. And also, the outline wasn't right with them. So sometimes it annoys me to the point where I cut it off, but for this one, I'm just going to leave it. I don't know, maybe your pack is cut more closely. I don't know. I felt like mine was cut very off center. Normally I fix it, but I think it's okay for this one. And then the tag would just need inked around. I'm going to ink around the top of it, and then I'm going to leave the rest for inking around later. I just kind of want to see what it looks like in there. Much better. Very happy with that. I need to glue these pockets down, but I'm much happier with that. Let me go ahead and start gluing them. And I am going to have to be careful because I don't have a lot of playroom here. And I'm going to glue it right on my tag. We'll find out together if that was a good idea. It may not be. It may not be. Okay, so pockets are glued. Everything inked. That one is done. We've got two more little pockets, but I just want to do like a big focal point on them and call that good. He's got that little clipped corner there. So really this one should be something smaller too. I can just trim off a section of this card. There is a line that I can follow at least. Less bugs. We have a cute little scrap. That's going in there. I like that. That's good. Definitely like that. Then there's this one. This one's good for size. I don't know if I want to decorate this side and put coffee dyed paper on the back of that. Let's put this strip of brown paper because it's sitting here, and that will be your little writing spot back there. But do we decorate that one or this one? I think we put it on this one, and I think we put it right like that. So there's your journaling space on the back of this tag. Hopefully you guys have some brown packing paper somewhere, but I think this kit came with a brown paper bag. If I'm remembering right, it came with a brown paper bag in case you did not have any brown packing paper to use. You can use the bag in the journal signature, or you can just use it in strips and pieces like that. So there's that part, and now we need a big focal point for this one. We're going to need a layer back there. I didn't use either of these yet, so let's put a layer. Let's do this there. And I am going to glue stick this one. Wonky is great. I left my glue stick open. So you got to get off that dry layer of glue before you can move on. Yeah. Whole big bunches of glue on that one. And I also wanted to tear this. I did. And then for this one, while it is wet, I'm going to tear it. And we're going to get what we get there. Perfection. Love it. Okay. So there's the base layer for that guy. He has a butterfly on his pocket, either a large flower, large mushroom. I think I actually cut out or tore out a mushroom for a project right here and didn't use it. I didn't use it, so let's use that. It's here. It's good. I need ink. See, I'm selling. It's a Tuesday live sale, but I'm selling other people's things tonight. It's all good. I just need to share the good things that I find with you guys wherever I find them. And I know, it's really hard for us to find 12 by 12 paper for junk journals. You can find it for cards and you can find it for scrapbooking, but it is very hard to find it vintage themed for junk journals. And I do have a solution for that. You guys will see it eventually. Oh my gosh. I think there just needs to be two of me so that I can get everything done. But eventually we will have, I have a printer that prints 12 by 12, but eventually we will have many more junk journal supplies to play with. I just got to have another me to get it all done. So I did that right back there. And then we're going to back our label on this one with this graph paper. I need to find a label and then size our little piece of graph paper to the right size. We could also put some words. I have not been using words, and I keep saying I need to use them, and then I nearly instantly forget. So let's find some words and start pulling out some of those, and we'll back them on the graph paper. So these are clippings. They come in a spiral bound notebook as well as just some pages in a pack. Again, from Tim Holtz. The big moon shines in the sky. Get the original and genuine. I don't know. Just at the moment. Love is spontaneous. Knowledge which costs nothing. I don't know. Maybe we want knowledge which costs nothing. How about challenge the world? Let's see if we can get that to even fit on there. Or do we want inspection requested? I don't know. Let's see. All I know is we need to use these because I don't really use them. I have really been trying to use a bunch of things that I mean to use. I really mean to use them, but for whatever reason, probably because I'm not crafting in my craft room, because in my craft room, these things are just everywhere, like I can find them quickly. But when I'm in here, I have such few little supplies to craft with that I feel like it's harder. I put the glue on it, but I need it to dry for just a second. It's art glitter and it does dry fast. I need it to dry for just a second. I definitely have some gluey fingers going. So the words are very small, and you're definitely going to want to either put them on a more busy background or back them so that they become, your own little label. They actually shifted a little bit. They'll just be wonky now. It's okay. So that's going to be my little label down there at the bottom. I am going to ink around that. Love the packing paper. A grocery bag, a pharmacy bag if you go to Kroger, mine are craft, and you can just turn them inside out. Any Amazon packing paper, lunch sacks. I don't know where else you can find craft paper, but it's definitely out there and we need to recycle it. And that's going to go right there. And I do kind of wish I would have inked around that paper, but I think maybe I'll be happy when I just ink around the whole entire thing. I don't know if I'm cutting it into a tag. I kind of started out where I thought I was going to cut it into a tag, but now I'm not sure. I didn't ink the paper, but I think I can catch it, the edge of it, enough to kind of ink it. And if I ink the card a little in the process, I'm good with it. Much better. Okay, so there's that one. We have one more to go, and I'm hoping it is faster. I would like to make something else tonight too. Okay. Although this piece is super, super nice. I love this piece, whichever journal this goes in, because I don't see myself making 3 of these. Some things I only make 1 of because they take a lot of time, and it's nice to have, enough of them to put 1 in each journal or a couple of them in each journal, and then there's not 3 of exactly the same thing. But I'm going to let that sit for a minute too. If you don't want your glue to spread as much, the art glitter, if you don't want it to spread as much and fill in your pocket, just let it sit for 15 seconds or so before you put it down. And that will keep it from spreading because that glue starts to thicken as soon as it touches air. So just giving it a second or 2 helps out. So we've got that. We've got that. Now we need this. This guy right here. I don't know. I'm losing my craft desk. We need something to go on bug paper. Bug paper. I think bug paper would be nice to have a large butterfly. It's faster. I don't know what else to put on it. I like the fact that this is a nice shorter little journaling card. On the back, we can just put some paper. My other butterfly is over here. I think we could get away with that. We have butterflies out here as well. It's very butterfly, mushroom, butterfly, mushroom, botanical. Let me see how it looks inked, because we surely can't see without getting rid of that. And you guys know when you use ink on the layers, because the layers are thicker and just ever so slightly glossy, like they're ever so slightly glossy, you need to let your ink dry just a few seconds before, or else it's just going to smear everywhere. We can put that on, but we might need to put something back there behind it. And I could keep using craft paper, but I don't think I want to. Let me get rid of some offcuts. We're still using these little guys, but not these guys. Okay. Do I need book page behind this butterfly? I don't really want to cover up too much of that. And preferably I would cover up bugs before I would cover up this part over here. If I did that and that, I like it. Let's do it. All right, what do you guys want to make next? What do you want to do next? Most of you fell away by now. It's taking a very long time to make one project. I do apologize. Okay. Let's put this down. At least we made a really nice, I mean, seriously, this is a really nice little trifold thing. And it started out with just one little piece of the botanical paper or eco dyed paper. So it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was relaxing. We got to talk about all kinds of other things, and you guys bought up all my Tim Holtz little paper pack thingies, ephemera packs I needed. I'm teasing you guys. Trust me, I know I will find one. I know that they are still out there. They're just, I don't know why they're called the same name. He probably explained it at one point, but but I do like that one, and it's one that I had forgotten that I even had. It's one that I don't have 100 backstock on, unlike most of my other things. I don't hoard. I do use, however, those ones. My card is good sized and it looks nice in there. So I think we're going to just ink this top edge where I put the paper on. I think we're going to put coffee dyed paper back here, and I have an offcut for that somewhere. There's this little piece. That's fine. I was thinking of leaving it as a flip up and putting a little decoration back there, kind of like a little bonus. But we really don't need to make this any more thick than it already is. It's probably not going to work because I made it so thick, but we're just going to put that there. So everything has writing space on it. The writing space does not have to fully cover the back. You saw me make just random sized writing space with basically trash. Have seconds of sliding art glitter before you can't slide it anymore. Milliseconds, really. So there's that. That's going back there. Everything's good. There was a little extra paper that stuck off the edge. It needs a little label. Other than that, I'm good. Do I have a quick little label? These ones are not going to be the right shape. I need some other little label. I just saw that in a bin. Not that little label, but some other little label. Maybe this little label. Yes, let's ink that one and call this one good. See how right now it's very blue? Like the paper color is blue. The red is a very cool blue. Can warm that guy up. Perfect. There he goes. And we're good. We did it. We got all the way done, fully decorated, everything in there. Oop. Nope, I didn't want it there. No, I don't. I do want it here though. Okay. So that goes there. Glue that pocket. And we did it. It's done. That was a large piece of ephemera with lots and lots of cool stuff inside of it. Just to make one tuck on a page, guys. This journal or these journals are going to have a lot of nice stuff in them. They're going to be beautiful, and I am going to hate to part with them. I may be keeping one of my Blue Beauties and one of my Natures because they're good to take to the trade shows. So that goes there. Let's see if we can stick this one in now. Oh, I already did. Okay, well then. I like this little thing here. It's fun. And you could even write back here. So there's extra. I want to stick this in so badly right now, but I know better. But it folds up. We didn't need to decorate here because this side is designed to glue down to the page. It will flip out and open and flip over. So that's that. I think it looks wonderful and I love it. Thank you guys for making it with me. We had no plans to make anything tonight, and we did. I actually can tuck that out just a little. Cute, very cute. See the shiny though? It's just ever so slightly shiny. I think it's very cute. And that's that. And we'll glue him in when we finally get our book done. All right, so what should we make now? We have time. We have energy. We need a drink of water, but what else? Anybody, did I miss anything? No, I haven't. I haven't since before COVID, but I have a project that is going to require me to travel and go to trade shows. And I'm just trying to prep because normally I don't keep any of my own journals. They all sell and I don't get to keep them. But I am trying to keep some that I make so that when I go, I can bring them with me to show people. The last trade show, I went to Scrapbook Expo, but that was just, as going there and shopping. I went to Creativation in 2020, right before COVID officially hit and all that stuff happened. It happened. The Creativation used to happen every year in Phoenix, and I'm in Arizona. So I went in 2020 in January. It was January 20th, 2020. And then COVID just blew up right after that. Nobody, like, people knew there was news stories in January 2020, but it wasn't till really March of 2020 when everything closed. How many of you leave those little blank tags blank? I do, because I sell my journals, and more often than not, that's a great place for somebody to personalize. They can write a date on the little tag, and then they can journal about the date on the back. So I have found from selling journals, people prefer some blank areas for personalization. So don't feel like you have to fill in that with a stamp or whatever. It's okay to leave them blank. There are certainly enough labels in my journals that do have, printing on them and whatever. So it's totally fine to leave them blank. People like that for the most part, because they could cover it up if they didn't. They could put something there if they didn't like it blank, but it allows them, specifically for writing a date, they could write a name, they could write a short little quote or something like that in there. I don't have any stamping supplies in here other than ink. I don't have a block and I don't have any stamps. Those supplies are in the other room. Stamp something. Don't have that in here, guys. The stamps are all sorted and put away, so I don't have any of that kind of stuff in here. I have ink, but that's it. I did ask. Let me get these little guys put away. I mean, it's not like we're not going to use them again, but let me kind of clean that up. We can make some tags. We're always going to need tags. We're always going to need pockets. What did you guys want me to stamp? What were you guys thinking? At least I can be prepared for next time. There's that little card and that little card. And these little thingies. Well, tags or pockets or whatever, we always use that kind of stuff. But oh my gosh, these little fiddly bits. This is actually a label. And so is that. That goes in field notes. Okay. At least those are all back in their bin. Let me see if I have anything in here. There used to be a couple little stamps in this bin, but there is not currently. No. I used to keep a couple little, like date stamps or saying stamps in there. Trying to look at other supplies that we haven't gotten out and played with yet in my little craft cart. You guys got these in your kit. These little things came in your kit. In truth, I have made these into mini little journals and everything else before. I am probably just going to ink this or copy dye this. I hope I have time to copy dye. But copy dyeing this would be my preference. When you get your kit, if you like things copy dyed, pull out all the things that you think you want to copy dye and go ahead and get that done. That's one thing you all could start with. And then from here, these fold into thirds. So it folds here and it folds here. And then you can make a little, writing space inside. You could add pockets. I think we should add some little pockets to this guy, although he is nice writing space. Well, whatever you decide to do with it, but let's go ahead and fold it. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do with it. I don't know. Where is my bone folder? I mean, it was here, so we could start. What do I do with these? Maybe that corner pocket where it fits over the top. Pockets. Gluing white backing of a napkin onto magazine. It does. And also tissue paper. If you have any, if you get something from Amazon or whatever and it's packed in tissue paper, that's good too. Especially because, some of it has little crinkles. The crinkles are actually nice. Tall, skinny tags. Well, tall, skinny tags do look like a bookmark. So, I don't think you can get away with, without them looking a little like a bookmark because they're tall and they're skinny. Let me think on that. Let me think on ways to make a tall, skinny tag not look like a bookmark. Because when I make them, they pretty much look like a bookmark too. So it folds up like this. I folded mine where I divided the white space in half. You can see that it does have a little lip here, but I think that's okay. It's pretty even in the back. So when I folded it, I just divided this white space right in half and scored it. And that's how these are harder to fold. They're very, very thick card. I don't know what the GSM is, but thick. So we have this now. If I add pockets and little tags in here, it would be cute. I gotta soften it. It's very, very, very firm. Let's add some little pockets to this guy. I mean, I know I'm gonna want to ink the whole entire thing, but maybe, this one, where is the skinniest tag? This guy, he would fit in there. I mean, I don't want to use a pink one necessarily, but this is the skinniest panel, the narrowest panel. So I was wondering if I wanted to add a pocket on that at all because it is so skinny. You're going to have to make a very small, probably corner pocket. That way you don't lose glue on this side. If you make a corner pocket, you only have to glue on one side really. So probably a corner pocket here, maybe a middle pocket, or maybe you leave the middle open again and you put a little pocket over here. You're not going to be able to fit a whole ton in here because it's going to bow out, but you could do some little pockets. You could just make it writing space. I mean, they can write here if you leave that open. You can't really write there. I don't like to cover up the front of this because people can write their own, like, information in here. Like, you're not going to put your social security number like it's asking, but, you could put out somebody's name or something, a date, week ending, that kind of thing. But it does go through the whole entire week and allow them journaling space, which is why I'm thinking I probably wanted to just coffee dye this, fold it up, and put it in a pocket, because it goes through the whole week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is not on here, but Sunday could be this. Or the person could have a little journal spot for each day. So I don't know if I want to cover it up or not. But if we did, I might add some little pockets and some little tags. Where are those Tim Holtz strips at? Where did I put those? Did I just put them in this ephemera thingy? I think I kind of did. Where are they? There's these. These are not what I was looking for, but as a last resort, there's those. He has a package of little narrow strips of paper, which I don't know what I did with. No, no, and no. I cannot find them. I also just found some other tags that I was looking for. I might have put them in the big bin, but we have these little pre-made tags. Where's the small ones? Are these too big? They are. So those ones won't fit in there. So I think we would use an index card. An index card, and we could see, even an index card is too wide. I'm having a hard time finding something narrow enough to fit in there. But those other little strips, I was thinking you could take one of those other little strips and just glue it to the side over here, and then your tag would just tuck in there like a tuck. But if you use something like this, you could get a little tuck right there. It would work. I think I want those ones that are more narrow. So let me dig them out of my ephemera bin, because that's really what I was not wanting to do, but let's do it. And we can cut these up for pockets. So the tiny strips and the large strips. The large strips obviously are larger, and you could cut these up for little pockets maybe. I think that would work. I think these are the Halloween ones, but we can find some things in here that would work for our little project. I like the green one because this is already green. I won't use the Halloween, pieces, but I think if I can find some areas that are the right color, like there's bugs in here because it's Halloween. There's just some scary looking dudes in there. Here's another green one, and here's another green one. So let's see about these green ones. I do like this picture of these workers. I'll leave that one out. But those were in a bin, so let me find those narrow strips. This is what I'm dealing with. This right here is what I keep a bunch of junk in to keep it from rolling off my desk or whatever the case may be. But I think there are some of those narrow strips in here. So in this little section, one of these sections, there should be some narrow strips. Well, I found a blue tag. Oh, and a nest. That little tag would fit in there, but it's pretty blue. But if we did this whole thing in blues, I also have this blue butterfly card. So maybe we'll do the whole little thingy in blues now that I pulled all the green stuff. I don't know. But there's all kinds of cute little things in here to tuck in there. I swear there's some strips in here because I found them before. What did I do with them? I don't know. But I don't see them now. Oh, right here is a ruler. Here's a blue ticket. I don't know if it's long enough. Are those the only ones in here? Yeah, he has a whole pack of strips. If you guys have that, that might work nicely. So that's the tray. Now let me pile all this stuff back over there. Just to give myself some more room. Yep. Okay, back to our plan. If I wanted to go with the blue theme, I could definitely put this little tag in this side and this little journal card in this side. And that could be our ephemera. I was hoping that this would work as a tuck. It's not long enough. I mean, I could still make it a tuck, but it's just going to be a very small tuck. Like, I don't know if I want it, but there it is. I could use this in a pocket somewhere. This is the size of the strip I was looking for. It's maybe not as wide as I wanted, but it would have held something in there. Let's not use that, and let's look at something else. So we have some blue things, and we have a card. Let me find the blue strips. Wasn't there blue strips in here? I'm hoping. Or do I need the regular ones and the non-Halloween ones? Well, there's that blue, and there's purple, and black, and orange. I guess there's not a darker blue. Do I have larger strips? I do. These are the everyday strips. There is a blue in here. Unless I've used it, there is a blue in here. If we go back and do green, there's plenty of botanical green things in here. Here's the blues. So I've got these blues and these blues. And if I needed to, a couple little things in there might work. But that's it. That's all we have. Maybe we don't want every single thing blue. We can get some yellow in there. Don't you guys love just, you know, sitting there for an hour while I dig for some paper? I bet you just do. I bet it's your favorite thing ever. Well, I'm just going to leave these strips over here and we're going to see which ones work. And not mix in my Halloween ones. So let's make some little pockets on this guy. We're going to ink him a little because he's too plain for me. I have sewn a signature in to one of these folds before. Just use a 2-hole pamphlet stitch and sew in a couple little papers in there if that's what you guys want to do with it. I have done it and it does look nice, but I don't really need another mini journal for this journal, for these journals. So for me, I'm just gonna decorate it. I really didn't even plan on doing that. I was just going to leave it as a journaling card. And I probably only make one of these, and the other one will be left as a journaling card. I need to ink this a lot because I don't. Manila, I just don't love the color of manila. I don't know if you guys love the color of manila, but there's something about that ivory tone, and it just makes all the other colors not play nice together, in my opinion. Everything else has a white under base to it, right? And so you've got something that's creamy. Well, it works with lace just fine. I find it hard to work with ephemera that's on a creamy base. Harder, I should say. Because all of this Tim Holtz stuff has a white base to it. So instantly when I put something on there, like these are kind of creamy, but they're on white paper. It's just a little harder. So if we went with green and then blue ephemera, that would work. For a little pocket, are we adding these fancy ladies to our very rustic botanical journal? I don't know that I want to do that. I'm not opposed to this little blue picture, but it's too tall. I just need a skinny, skinny little pocket. Let's do this one. This has both blue and green. So let's do this as a little skinny pocket right here. And then let's do I'm only going to do one other little skinny pocket, and I'm going to do it right there. These pockets are not quite wide enough. It's a little too tall. I'm going to have to trim it in half. A little too tall on that one. And I think we'll save the rest of those for the time being. So if I do these, will any of my ephemera fit in there? Because these are like 2.5 inches or something. They're very small. See, this guy is not going to fit in there. He's just barely. So let's take this piece of, this is an index card. Let's take that and let's make some pockets out of that. It doesn't mean I can't put this on the pocket to decorate it, but at least I get my wider pocket. If I had some cream cardstock, which your kits do, they do come with ivory cardstock to make tags. It's more of a manila color like this, so that you can make some tags if you don't have any, cardstock or whatever. But on that note, if I tear the bottom part, the perforated part off of this tag, it actually makes a pocket. So it's just something different. It's the perfect size for this pocket right here. So that's just something different. We'll have to play with that later. And then I've got coffee dyed that I can put somewhere else. So all different kinds of pockets. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so thumb hole notching. This guy needs cut to size. He's too wide. And thumb hole notch both of these together. Actually need the other punch because these pockets are too tiny for the regular hole punch, which is the Stampin' Up! One for me. Okay, there's some little notches in those guys. That's 2 pockets. And we've got this guy. And I think we are going to use him for a pocket. He's kind of narrow. We could have gotten away with something bigger, but I think I am going to use him. So we're just going to do that one. Yeah, we're going to do that one. Okay. Tiny, tiny little pocket. Well, it's not really centered, but it'll work. Not quite. It will still work, but now I've widened it a little, and that makes me happier. Get more of the shape I wanted anyway. So we've got one tiny little pocket. We've got a blue tag, which I don't know if that goes in there, but... And we've got this little pocket here, which was just a coffee dyed index card. It may have been coffee dyed cardstock cut to an index card size. It feels like a piece of cardstock. And I've got this, which was just the perforated bottom of one of those tags that came in your kit. And we will decorate, but I don't want this to be like the last project where it took forever. And one of these pockets needs to go on the other side. And I'm thinking it's the coffee dyed one going on the other side. I'm going to leave that for writing space and put a pocket right here. So let's glue on some pockets. And these need to be very quickly glue something on and decorate because I don't want to take 4 hours to make it. Not lazy, it's just a very small piece of ephemera that shouldn't take that long. It's not going to be like a focal point kind of situation. Like this piece of ephemera is not going to be a focal point in a pocket. It's very small. It's probably 2.5 or 3 inches by maybe 5 inches. And then we're putting this one on the skinniest little section, and it's just going to hold something very narrow. I don't know if I glued the bottom of that. I don't remember doing it. One of you guys can rewind and tell me. I'll find out here in a second when I go to put something in and it comes out the bottom of it. Did I glue the bottom of my pocket? Apparently I did. Cool. Yeah. All right, guys. So Friday, I'm not ending, but I'm just saying, Friday, we will do some more ephemera for going in the botanical junk journals. I will not start making the cover or any part of that actual kit until, I'm going to have a little bit to cut off. I won't start making any of that actual kit until the following week. So you guys will all have time to get your kit. I will have time to get situated again after the wedding and all of that. So this could go in there. That would work. Let's ink that quick and put that in there. And I'm just going to leave it white on the back and ink it a little. We don't need to decorate every single little bit to the nines. I usually, do a pretty good job of making everything cohesive and all of that. So there's that going in there. I don't know about doing the blue stuff now because I don't know how I like it, but let's glue a flower or a butterfly and a little something over there. You could decorate with washi tape. That would also be fast. And it's not like I'm trying to make it cheap. It's not one of those focal point pieces that should take you a long time. It should be a quick make. And then what from over here do we want for our focal point? I have plenty of blue things. Blue things are just everywhere. It's kind of telling me that I need to make things blue. I don't know why. I don't know why. Like I have a million blue stamps and I have a million blue flowers and blue butterflies even. Like I could put that there, and here's a little blue butterfly. I don't know how I like it. I don't think I do. So we're just going to keep going. I mean, this is like a greenish colored mauve. I don't know. Let's do these little mushrooms. It doesn't really go with what's on that side, but we're going to go with it. I do want to ink quick. Oopsie. Do want to ink quick, and then we're moving on. And that's really all I'm doing other than a tiny little label on that one. Mushrooms. One of these tiny labels. Again, blue labels. What's going on with the blue? It's just telling me to use blue, guys. It just is. Maybe I'm not. Maybe it's telling me I need to finish my blue journal. More likely it's telling me, hey, remember those blue journals that you needed to make? They're right there. Yep. Hello, Susan. So we did talk about kits, and we decided as a group, mostly me, decided that we are not doing a different April kit. We are just going to work on the botanical journal all the way through till mid-April when I sell the May kit, because we don't have enough time. It's too stressful. We're just going to skip a month, and we will do something different later in the month if we need to fill in time, but I think we're going to be fine. So not a different kit. There won't be a kit sold next week. There's no different kit now until mid-April. I needed to regain some time. I don't know that I want anything else there. I might just leave that just as it is and call that good. Something needs to go in there, and I don't have a piece of ephemera right in front of me to go in there. So we could just put like a ticket in there. It can be something small as things fall everywhere. There's those, or there's these. I don't think these ones will fit. Maybe, but I doubt it. They're kind of big anyway. Let's skip those and look at something like this. What else is back here? Let's go with this one. Always the hardest one to get to, but no, it's okay. If I had that little sanding disc, I would sand off the little nubs from tearing these tickets out, but I don't have a little sanding disc in here. There's something in there for now. You could certainly add something else. In fact, I do see a little journaling card. I don't know if it will fit. See, everything is just a little bit too big. You could trim it down if it doesn't fit in there, but here's a little journaling card. Yeah, it just needs a tiny little bit trimmed off of it, and then the corners would have to be rounded again, but I don't have a corner rounder in here either. So, and it's even a little snug, but it will go. So there's two pieces in that one. The cover for the blue journal, we are done working on the blue journals as a group during lives. I will make a video showing how I make, in general, junk journal toppers. I will be making the blue one of the blue ones in that video, but we are done working on blue journals as a whole group. You had everything start to finish except for whatever you chose to put on the front cover of your journal, but we did put lace on the journal cover. So if you want to see the topper I'm making, I'll make it in a 365 video. I don't know, I had hoped to have had it done by now, but I don't. So now we're working on botanical ephemera for the March kit, which will be March and April, and then we'll go back to doing a May kit in the middle of April. That's when the next kit will be sold. There's this little weird mushroom. New. Don't like it. What about this green butterfly? That might work. Let's do that. So normally everyone just does their own little thing. Like I have seen so many people's blue journals finished already. Normally everybody does their own thing. I had hoped to have those topper videos done by now, but I just did not get to it. I'm probably not going to do it tonight either. We talked about me doing it already. I'm doing it for tomorrow's video. Probably not. I need to be really clear-minded. It's a topper. It's a focal point on top of the most important part of your journal, the cover, right? So I need to be really clear-minded, and I just think I'm gonna wait. I will do it when it just, it's in my brain and it's ready to come out soon. Now, there are plenty of other topper videos out there too that you could watch if you wanted to know, but I just build mine a little different. But yeah, that's with toppers. Does that answer? Sorry, Barbara. Yeah, we weren't meant to do anything else on those as a class or together. Do you guys want where I do the whole entire, I don't know if I'll always do it this way, but do you guys want, when I decorate and make the cover, like, do you want me to decorate the cover at that moment? Because I could certainly put generic, stuff on there and just hope that that works out in the end. I don't ever build my journals that way. I don't ever decorate the cover and then put the signature together and then fill it and then decorate all the pages. I always do the top focal point of my journal cover last, because the journal to me doesn't have a personality until it is done on the inside, or at least until the ephemera is in it. By that point, I know what kind of, for lack of a better word, personality it has, and that drives me to make a specific cover, like decorating a specific cover. So I can, when we make the journal covers, just start, decorating them, but it's not as cohesive, because if you make your cover, you sit down and I'm going to do the very first thing for this junk journal. I'm going to make this cover and I'm going to put this on the front. As you work in your journal and you start making ephemera, what you put there may not have been as cohesive as the rest of it. We could certainly try that. However, the cover for the botanical is different and I'm making a different thing to go on there. So I at least have an idea what I'm doing. So if you guys want me to do that all in one this time, we can certainly plan it that way. I will give it my best shot to do it all in one, meaning the first crafting session together. If that's important to you guys, let me know. If you guys are okay with doing it how we have been doing it, where I decorate it later, we can do that too. Do I just want to leave this middle section open for journaling and put like a little decoration in there, and then they can write in there? I think maybe I do want to do that. But I also think that maybe this needs to decorate right here. I think it does. Let's do that. You'd love me to decorate the cover? Okay. Well, for the botanical one, I will be making a different kind of a topper element. So we can do that. It would probably, we have 3 hours. So the cover construction on this one is entirely different. It's not your normal cover. It will probably take us 3 hours to make our cover. But if you guys would rather we decorate it, then we'll just have to do a longer class that first time, which I'm fine with. I just needed to know ahead of time. So if that's where the consensus is, then let's just do it that way. Yeah, let's put that right there and scoot it. There we go. See how it's like not wanting to stay together? You're going to have to use one of those tiny little clips. There used to be a tiny one in here. I'm sure that there is, but obviously one of the tiny, tiny clips to keep this closed after you put stuff in there. So a tiny clip. But other than that, I mean, we've got some journaling space. I think I'm going to call that good. I would like one more thing in here or something different in there, but I think I'm going to call that good. Unless I find a different journaling card right here. I mean, there is this one. See, that one just fits in there. So you could have like 2 things in there. A small little tag would fit in there also. These are actually Tim Holtz little journaling cards. And there is some that have pretty botanical things on them. Maybe we have too much green. Let's use this one. Everyone in the past has always, no matter what I shown them for the covers, they just do their own thing. And I don't know, you know, they all, everyone has their own personality. So I didn't think you guys wanted to make your journal look like my journals. So that's why I just kind of thought that wasn't as important for you guys. Because every journal kit that I've ever done, it doesn't matter if I show you exactly like, here's where you put this and here's where you put that. Everybody does it different. So I just assumed you didn't want yours to look like mine. So I just figured, you know, people want to do their own thing. But maybe that was just for that particular journal, or, you know, maybe people were, I don't know, weirded out about making theirs look exactly like mine. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. But now that I know, we'll do it different. Journal cover at the end. See, everyone has a thing. Oh, the topper you will definitely see. It's going to be a 365 video because there's a specific way I build what I want to build. So I will just show you guys. I have actually shown building a topper before on the channel in a live when we did a Christmas journal a few years ago. It's okay. I'm good. Let's just do it. Let's just do it and fit it in to either the first video or second video. As long as we have time in the first one to do it, we'll do it. Let's just do it. Let's just do it this way this time and see how it goes. This one will have a different kind of a topper element, and I keep saying element for a reason. It's not something that you glue, at least. So see, it has to stay fluid in my mind. Right now, I am planning a topper element. However, as I'm making the journal, or if I make the cover will speak to me and tell me what the cover needs. And I know that sounds super creepy, but that's the way it works. Everything just tells me what it wants. So, and I don't mean I hear voices. I mean, I look at it and I determine from the way that the cover actually came out when I built it, where there's open space, where there needs to be something else, whatever. So right now I'm planning a topper element. We'll go with that, and then if it changes, you know, we'll talk about it. But you guys are probably the same way when you sit down to make something. This really could have used something taller in there, but I don't have anything at the moment, and I can't really pull that out too terribly much more. Let's leave it like that. So there's the inside. I'm going to leave that open for writing. I'm going to leave that open for writing. We just have this little section back here that needs something, and I really don't want to use another one of these little cards, but for lack of having anything else to stick in there, there's only that one that's even close to color. So we're just going to stick that in there for right now. It's just a quick little piece of ephemera. I don't know how long it took me, way longer than it should have, but there it is. It's just a little journal card. I don't know if we want this sticking out. Anyway, and then I'll just put a little clip on it. I would like a little label, but I will fuss on that. So just a little label right here. You can still write your name and stuff in here. I did cover up some of it, which I'm not super happy about, but I would be happier if I could find a tiny clip right now. I need to keep a bin of just those little things in here. I thought I saw one. I do have one. Cool. Because when I look for it, when I make the ephemera, that's where I need to remember to put one on. Otherwise, I will forget. So there's that. It can go in a pocket. And I probably will make the other two very similar to this. I have glue all over my finger, but very similar to that. Good night, Susan. Thanks so much. It's okay. I don't mind. I like the feedback, and I don't mind changing up what I was planning on based off of what you guys want. So let's just go with trying to do it early this time before I build the whole journal, and we'll see how it goes. For the blue one, it needs to be a 365 video. Actually, the botanical one will probably also need to be a 365 video, but at least I have time to plan that to where I can get it done. I'm going to switch the camera back. At least I can plan it to where maybe we build the cover the way that I wanted to build the cover, and then build the cover the way I wanted to build the cover. I need to put my filter back on. I build the cover the way I build the cover in the first 3-hour work session. And then the following morning, after we build the cover, you have the topper thing. I think that's the best plan, because then the topper thing doesn't eat up time for building the signature and getting that part done. Because normally the way that the junk journal, we have 4 per month, right? Some months you have 5, but 5 Friday classes. We have 4 typically. So this one we have a little extra time, but I do hope to gain another project or 2 on a Friday, since we're going to go all the way through April with this. So let's plan on building the junk journal cover in the first class. The following morning, I will have the video already done for the topper for the botanical journal. Then the second Friday session, we will work through putting together the signature and putting, how should I say this? Putting together the signature, sewing it in, and this journal cover has places to add large pockets, either on the sides or up at the top. So we'll need to deal with the pockets and the signature and get it all ready that way in the second video. We can start with making ephemera in the second one also. The third video will be pockets, and the fourth video is typically filling pockets and making tags and journal cards if we need to. So I would want to keep it still to 4 sessions unless we are straggling or too far behind in something, or something else didn't work out right or whatever, then we can extend it to a 5th session. But just looking at the calendar, if we start making this journal, so if we don't start it officially this Friday, which we've agreed we're going to wait till the 21st, so the cover will be Friday the 21st, the signature will be Friday the 28th, the pockets will be Friday, April 4th, And then from the 4th, we are Friday, April 11th, which should be the last botanical journal class. Then you have the following Friday is the Good Friday before Easter, and there wouldn't be a live that day anyway. So yet another reason why we should skip an April journal. So Friday the 18th of April would not be a class at all unless there was some kind of small little project or something that would be short because I know I have a family thing. And then we would have April 25th, which would be left available for another project. Like when we did the mini greeting card journal, we can do another project that is a whole separate standalone project that has nothing to do with any kits on the 25th. Then May 2nd would be the start of the May journal. So that's the plan that I have now. But I will promise to show you the topper right when we build the journal cover the next morning. Does that make sense? Everybody good with that plan? Hopefully. I don't know. I don't know. This is wedding week. This is wedding week. She gets married on Saturday. But I don't want to take this Friday off. I want to be here and I want to craft and I want to get a jump start on ephemera, even though I will be making plenty of ephemera in the 365 series where I made ephemera for the blue journal in the 365 series and ended up having plenty. I haven't filled the other 2 journals yet, but I think there is enough. So as long as I continue to knock out ephemera in 365, I should have botanical journals fully finished. I should have every journal this year fully finished when we're done. Other than I just need to fit in a little bit of extra time to do like lace on page edges and things that you guys don't want to sit here and watch me do. Like gluing lace on page edges, adding the little final embellishments. We're going to do a topper this time ahead of time, so it should be better. It should be better. We'll do it. I'm good. Family's good. It's just the week before Easter, I know we have a family thing on that Friday, but we also have family thing on that Sunday, and I'm cooking, so I need to make sure that you know how it is. The house is clean, all the supplies are bought for the meal and all that kind of stuff. It's just a little bit, it's all good. But we'll get through the whole botanical journal and we will start fresh with a new journal. Mid-April is when I will sell it. Now that journal may not have any journal kits available for non-subscribers. Going forward, it may be a subscribers only thing. Not to penalize or whatever, but there's just a point where I don't have enough supplies to make 150 kits. And we have a big bunch of people on the subscribers list. So if something happens and somebody cancels or whatever, then that may leave a slot open for subscriptions and somebody could be added to subscriptions. But going forward, there are so many people on the subscribers list. It was more than I thought there was going to be, and I cannot foresee, in all honesty, me making 150 journal kits a month. So I think we're going to keep it to subscribers unless there is some left over for non-subscribers, but it's certainly not going to be like before where there was like 50 available for non-subscribers, or I can't promise that everybody who didn't subscribe is going to get one, I guess is basically what I'm saying. I don't know about gushing, but just, I think it has, and I don't know why, but it has mixed feelings. Like you're giving away your daughter, which you're not really giving away your daughter, but I'm just saying, like, it's officially the last, you guys are going to make me cry. It's officially the last time. I better get it out with you guys because I can't be doing it on wedding day. So my family has always been, since my son was 4 years old, my family has always been me, my daughter, and my son. And this is the last time that it is going to be like that. Yes, I am very happy. I'm very excited to be gaining a son-in-law, but my family will forever be changed. And that part, since it was always just the three of us, is a little hard to like. My daughter hasn't lived with me in a long time because, she's 29 years old. It's not like, she's moving out or anything drastic like that. Like when I took her away to college and left her at her door, like I helped her move in, we set it all up, we decorated, I spent whatever time I could there with her. But when I came home after taking my daughter to college, because she went to college in a different town away from us, hours away from us, um it was hard. It was a whole like life adjustment because it had always been just the three of us. What now it's like officially, she's pregnant. She has her own family of just the three of them. And it's not like anything has changed. It's just mentally like the thought of, and it really isn't that it's just going to two of us, it's that it's going to five of us. Not three of us, not four of us, but five of us, which is a happy, great thing. But in my head, it's just like it has always been just the three of us. Like the Three Musketeers, it's just always been the three of us. And so it's a little bit of a hard thought. I'm super happy, and I'm not sad. They're not sad tears. They're happy tears, but they're also a little bit of wow, like realizing that your daughter is her own adult person who's going to have her own adult family. And like the hope is that she is, married forever and will never return to the nest. But Mama Bird, you know, her nest is, just feeling a little empty at the moment. But it's gonna fill back up because I'm getting a grandchild and I'm getting a son-in-law. So it's okay. It's just one of those things where it's like it's just kind of hard to, I don't know, realize that that sweet little baby that you brought home from the hospital and that sweet little girl that remember her first day of kindergarten and all that kind of stuff is like a 30-year-old person. And it's not like, she wasn't 30 before, she wouldn't be 30 after. It's just realizing she's actually grown up. So very, very happy, very proud, and very excited. But, this moms have a little, I don't know, little different . About it, letting your baby bird fly the coop. I don't know. It is what it is. You're just being honest about it. It's all good. It's totally good. So she's having a baby boy. She's due the end of August or third week of August. So in Arizona, it is going to be like 120 degrees, and she's going to be 9 months pregnant. And so, goodness, it's a lot. She's having a son, a little baby boy, so I'll have grandson. I'm super excited about that, although she wanted a girl. I think every mom probably wants a girl because they just think it's going to be easier. But anyway, so I'm going to gain a son-in-law and a grandson. And it's going to be awesome as long as they stay living in this state. If they don't stay living in this state, mom might have to actually move. I can't imagine my life being that far away from my child. Yeah, that's just kind of my reality. I don't know if you guys ever had any of those feelings. Somebody please chime in and tell me I'm not going crazy. I kind of feel like you guys know that show, Everybody Loves Raymond. I kind of like when I watched it in the early 2000s, I think is when it was on. When I watched it, I thought, oh my gosh, how terrible to live like across the street from your mother-in-law, especially when they were over there every day, and like all the issues that Deborah had with the mother of that show, which the mother of that show was terrible some of the time, a lot of the time, which was her character, right? She was supposed to be this overbearing, nosy, and she like, I don't know, she kind of lied to Deborah a lot. She just, I don't know. There was a whole dynamic. And I am hoping to never be that woman, but now I can see why, like, the mother wanted to be that close to her son and his wife and their kids, and like how wonderful it would be to live across the street from your adult grown up children, because you can see them every day and see your grandchildren every day. So I'm starting to understand why the mother wanted to live across the street, or wanted them to live across the street from them. I'm starting to see why that is, because like it would be so hard to be away from your child and your grandchildren. And from that aspect, I have always been spoiled, where it's always been the three of us. And so, like, every time they talk, because they do talk about moving out of state occasionally, and every time they do, I'm like, oh, please, no, please, no. So now that they're married or getting married, I'm just hoping that that doesn't ever happen. That's my worst fear. Worst fear. Well, not worst, but as far as ridiculous fears go. Oh my gosh. Bye, Cheryl. Thanks so much. Her daughter moved to Utah and hard. Yes. Oh gosh. Goodness, Cheryl. Well, see, now she needs mom again. Like she's always needed you, but now she needs you more. Yeah, awesome. That, that's how life is though, right? Things happen, and it's like a rubber band, where they're close and they go far away and they always come back, right? So there it is. Aw, Wendy, that's awesome. That's great. That's great. Awesome. Now I know some children, they do live far away from, work or college or whatever. I understand that. My daughter's husband, um, he's not from Arizona. He is from the complete opposite side of this country, and all of his family is there. And so I can't imagine, but I do understand the pull, to move back that way so that they can be closer to them. Can't afford to come back to California. Aw, I hear you on that. Things are so expensive, and things in Arizona where I'm at, they didn't used to be, they were more than the rest of the country, or more than a lot of the country, because we were, I feel like, adjacent to California. And a lot of Californians move here because the house prices were cheaper. They still are cheaper, but like I said before, a normal, everyday, small, older family home is 500,000, and a nicer house that's not even like, we're not talking like a nice house. We're just talking like a bigger home is like 3/4 to 1 million. And it's very, very common that they're $1 million for your average everyday house, like a normal 2,600 square foot home for a family with some kids. It's $1 million, which that used to be California 20 years ago or whatever. But it seems to be like, house prices here have gone up drastically. We're like the worst place to buy a home ever right now. I don't know. We're on some list somewhere about being very high house prices. We're very close to the top of that list. And it's not that the houses are nice, and it's not that the houses are big. It's that the housing market here is just, there's so many people here and so many people coming here that housing prices have gone up, and it's just very, very expensive. Enjoy your movie, Cheryl. Enjoy it. my worst, I can't say worst, one of my fears, Linda, one of my fears. Yeah, one of my fears. Anyway, after babbling all of that, after oversharing again, I think we're going to go and work on something. I need to get a little bit of work done in Etsy too. So I think I'm going to call it for tonight, and we will be back here on Friday making some ephemera. Probably, again, tailoring it to the botanical journal just to get a jump start on it. I may not end up needing it all, but at least these are ephemera pieces that could work in other journals, not super lacy ones, but at least we'll get a jump start on ephemera on Friday. So that's the plan. Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All of the Friday things are always at 7. Tonight was usually at 6 p.m. on Tuesdays, but I wasn't sure exactly what I was doing. So we played tonight by ear. Next Tuesday, I will be back. I will either be crafting again or I will be having a live sale. I'm leaning towards having a live sale, but I'm not sure how I will feel because the wedding would have been Saturday. Sunday will probably be recuperating. And then I have all kinds of errands that need to be run to take things back to places and whatever. We ended up having to rent some additional things that need to be brought back. So that kind of stuff. Thanks for joining, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. We will get back to our live sales on our normal schedule soon. Thanks for putting up with a little disruption to all of our schedules. And thanks for those of you who are hanging out waiting for invoices or kits or whatever the thing may be. Thank you guys for being patient with that. I will get to it just as soon as I can. I promise you, I'm working towards getting things back to normal over here. I don't know what you guys can see from behind me, but the place is kind of a mess. I will spend some time making some 365 videos and then clean it up. All right, guys, I will see you again on Friday. Thanks so much. And I'll be checking the messages because I know there's inboxes are running over. I know there's a lot of messages. I will make an attempt to check them tonight while I'm trying to fall asleep and answer what I can answer tonight. All right, guys. Thank you. Bye. We'll see you again soon.